Okay, right. So today, I would really like to talk about Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, among other Rockstar-related things right now, and I'll explain in a minute. But first, if you're new here, or you haven't already, do us a favour and check out the main channel, Cleverly Stupid. That's where I do my main highly edited videos, the whole like. I do voice acting in them, scripting. It's all showmanship, really. Like, if I'm to just chuck one up the now and like get like some of the more complex things that I have done, they're supposed to be quite entertaining, quite funny in the whole like, let's see. And every now and again, I'll do a cool thing in these. Dude, these are worth your time, man. This is where all my blood, sweat, and tears go to. Seriously. Just go over there, bro. Just go over there, bro. Look at all that, bro. Incredible work in editing that I do all by myself. Yeah. That sort of thing. But anyway. But if not, if you prefer to stick around here, just stick us in the background, second monitor. It's up to you. Or if you dare, yes, you can watch this. That's up to you. I don't make the rules. Okay, so the reason I really want to cover Chinatown Wars is basically because, in fact, well, you know what? That takes us straight back to here. So, the last video that I did, that was like just 2 weeks ago, not very long ago, the video didn't perform well. It didn't perform well at all. And I think that's a shame because, well, it's probably my best work is the thing. Like, oh gosh, you know, I put so much work into this video and I really wanted to outdo myself, and I think I succeeded in doing that. But I was really let down by how it performed. Like, YouTube didn't show it around in the slightest. So it had me sit down for a little while and think about what I got to do with the channel next. So the next video I'm doing is Hotline Miami. I can't change that. It's my favorite game. The franchise is just about over 10 years old now. The second game just turned 10. That's my favorite game as well. And, well, I want to cover it before the year's out. But I needed to think, okay, but after that, I need to think of something that's really going to capture more of a general audience sort of thing. And that's when I landed on, well, GTA 6 is actually coming out pretty soon. It's coming out in May. And that gives me about 9 months to hopefully come out with 3 videos by then. With one of those main videos being Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, because that is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game, and I can't cover Grand Theft Auto 6 on release. Plus, I don't really care for GTA 6. I think it's going to be very similar to Red Dead 2, where it's just going to be overly designed in the whole, like, I think it's just going to be one, like, the highest quality piece of shit that you'll ever play, basically. It's like, oh my god. Because a lot of people love Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't get it. I have finished the game, and I hated playing throughout the entirety of it, because it's so boring. It's so boring to play. It's so strange. I'll tell you what, in fact. Like, I don't know, RDR2 game play. I don't know. Yeah, just do that then now. It's just something to put on in the background while I blab. Because my issue with Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's definitely gonna be reoccurring in the latest GTA game, is it's gonna be overly cinematic. It's not going to respect what a computer game is. It's not going to respect your time. It's just going to demand that you endure the inconveniences that is just you either watching the game or waiting for something interesting to happen, like whether that's like riding horses for hours on end. until you get to do something that's actually engaging. The combat's not very engaging in this game. It is literally just a mundane repetition of, what is it, like, pull the left trigger, pull the right trigger, pull the left trigger, pull the right trigger. And it's not going to be much different in GTA 6. It's going to put all the focus on all of the more, realistic things you can do, whether that's, God knows, going to the shop or something like that, refueling a car or whatever the fuck. It's not going to be a gameplay focused game. It's going to be a narrative driven game. And I'm not saying the writing is bad. In fact, the writing in Rockstar games are top notch these days. Like, I can't commend the writers enough for the storytelling that they incorporate into their games. But that's all the games care about. They only care about a narrative experience, not a gameplay experience. It's always going to be taking control out of your hands. It's always going to be forcefully directing you to do whatever the game wants you to do, and it's going to look glamorous while doing it. And that's usually what tricks people into thinking these games are amazing, until a few years later they look at it again and kind of rethink how they feel about the game. And that is that, while all this stuff is quite impressive, it's quite contradictory to what the game is as a whole, and that's an open world. And what does the open world give you to do? Not really much all that interesting, especially GTA 5. GTA 5 was a harsh offender for this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm not really interested in GTA 6 itself. But it is probably the most hyped product of the decade, and I've got to take advantage of that. If I want to take the channel anywhere, I have to do something related to GTA 6. So it's for that reason that my plan is, once I do Hotline Miami, if that video goes well, timing wise, if I get that done, like, let's say in about 2.5 or 3 months, I think I'll be comfortable covering Red Dead Redemption next, the first one, and then just use a lot of how I feel about Red Dead Redemption 2 to lead into it, that sort of thing. It's quite similar to how I did my Tomb Raider video. I talk about a lot of what bugged me about modern Tomb Raider, and then I segue into what I find is my favorite Tomb Raider game, and talk about why that works a lot more than the modern stuff does. Yeah, so I want to do that with Red Dead Redemption. And then I'm thinking, if I get that done and then do Grand Theft Auto just in time for GTA 6's release, I'm hoping that will just help leverage people's interest in the channel, because if they watch the Grand Theft Auto one, enjoy it, and then also find my Red Dead Redemption video, because I'd imagine a lot of people who find my Grand Theft Auto video will be like Rockstar fans, folk who are, a bit of that market. I'm hoping that in terms of the ones who enjoy the video, and then they get to the end of it and see that they can click on one that's about Red Dead Redemption, that'll spark a little more interest in the channel. If they enjoy that, they might subscribe and be like, that's pretty good. I don't really like thinking about the business side of things that much, but in terms of right now, I kind of have to. Because otherwise, I just don't think the channel's gonna get to where I really want it to. And it's a shame, because I hate talking about popular things. I really do. Because what I want to do is draw more attention to niche stuff. Just niche things that people have never heard of before, that deserves more attention. Do you know what I mean? And I think Chinatown Wars is probably the closest thing I can do to that right now, while maintaining some form of relevance, gaining relevance, that sort of thing. So, with all that being said, I think we'll just jump in and see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. It looks like we're fine. Rockstar, man. I used to be a huge Rockstar fan. Because, like, the games that they would come out with, like, during the time of, like, Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 was a fine game for the time. It definitely pushed boundaries in that, I won't deny that. But it wasn't their most interesting game. When Rockstar peaked, it was when they were making games like, like Manhunt, The Warriors, Bully, Smuggler's Run. I remember there was this one game. What was that? This one game about being in a riot. What was it? I can't remember the name. Urban Chaos or something? No, that's not the name of it. But there was also one where, like, yeah, it's just an arcade-style game where you're contributing to a riot. And I think they took a bit of inspiration from that. I remember playing through The Warriors, and there's a mission that's, like, very much based off of that as well. There was so much that you could link between the games, and then, yeah, not like GTA Chinatown Wars was also just one of their fucking masterpieces, man. As well as, like, maybe Red Dead Redemption 1 probably being their last masterpiece that they ever made. Oh my god. So, yeah. I guess we can just get into the Chinatown Wars and why I love that so much. And I think it relates a lot to what makes a good open world game. Is it the more complex a world is, the better? I don't think so. I think if you can double down on the simplest things that work the most in an open world, like, for example, I can search through dumpsters and interact with that dumpster. Pull out the things and, oh, we found a gun in there. That's going to aid me for whatever it is I want to do in here. That is an amazing thing to do in an open world. Things that have you searching the world only for a start. And that's just for a start, because I'm about to get into why I love Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. It's the... If you want to hear it from me, it's the best Grand Theft Auto game. I'm going to adjust the volume here real quick, because I actually don't want the game to make noise. There we go. That's something new. Put that away. And we're back. Okay, so what is the main thing that this game does that I think works perfectly with an open world? So, well, if we just get into that. I might do some missions in this game as well, because the missions in here are great. They're all different from one another is the thing. This was a game that knew precisely how to just be interesting from beginning to end. So, right. The main thing that the open world of Chinatown Wars relies on is that you play the role of a drug dealer. And how that works is you actually have connections in the game that will email you about opportunities regarding being a drug dealer. So, let's say, I got an email from Edmundo. He's got a tip-off for me. So if I click on that, what's he got to say? Something along the lines of, looks like I could just some coke. So this guy has got some cocaine. Meet me at the chase point, pick up the bargain as you pass on to my cousin's funeral. And these are all, like, randomly generated as well. I think, like, a lot of the emails, they're probably, like, just preset emails. So I won't pretend that it's bigger than what it is. But the tasks that the places that it has you going, the deals that are on offer and all that kind of stuff, they're all just random, and I love that. So this guy wants me to pick up some cocaine, I think. Looks like I just inherited his coke mother. Yeah. So he's looking to sell that for a profit, but he's going to sell it for cheaper than what is typical in the market. So if I click X, that's going to point me to where he is. So I'm going to go visit him. I talk about him like he's like a significant character in the story. He's not. It's just random people who reach out to you, be like, oh, wait, there's a drug dealer who's going to buy what I got? Yeah, I might as well reach out to him. See, blah, blah, blah. That's the whole idea. So as we do that, if anything like pops out to me that I also particularly love about playing this game, I will simply point it out. I mean, for example, oh my god, no, the two things just popped out, but I'll pick the first thing. So the other thing is like, fast traveling is the thing in this game, but if you want to fast travel, you got to find a taxi who is willing to get, so you can wave them down and get in the back and everything like that. I love neat little details in games that appear tiny. It's so cute to me. And then, yeah, I can just, that's all set for there, so what I can do is just pay the taxi driver to take me there quicker. Let's see, what do I go with? Yeah, just press the up button. This was a handheld game as well. This was on the PSP. And it's the best GTA game. That is an injustice. So I can just like hit the skip button and it takes me right there. Speeds it up. Painless. We're all fine. Oh my god. Right, so if I go up to this guy, interact with him. And then, so all the dealers work the same. You can buy stuff off of them, or you can sell stuff to them. I've not really got anything in my inventory right now, but I will in a minute. Because this guy is selling cocaine very cheap for what cocaine usually costs. What does he say? About like $223 per bag. I don't know how much it costs usually, but this is definitely like significantly cheaper than this. Okay, so the market value is around $700. I'm not used to saying dollars. I'm in the UK, so I say pounds normally. But anyway, and then even like the statistics are right here, and there's something that kind of clicks my brain when I see that little green text being like, you're going to make a profit off of this. You see that green there? Oh, that's a good thing. And then it just kind of kicks off that little bit of gambling brain that I've got over here. It's like gambling, but it's not really gambling. It's great. So, naturally, I'm just going to buy as much of this as I can. I think I've got 9,000 on me. It looks like I can maybe afford all of it. Yeah, I'm just going to grab all of this off of this guy. So now, oh, and this is even better. So sometimes there's a bit of risk to doing business, right? Because sometimes it's a bust and the cops are going to come after you. And that is great because now I've got a bit of risk on me. Because now, typically getting arrested in Grand Theft Auto just means you're going to lose all your weapons or something like that. Maybe like $50 as well. But in Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, there's more of a risk because you're carrying drugs on you. And if you get arrested, you're going to lose all of it. All that money that you spent on that booger sugar it's void. And all that effort that you put in, all the time that you spent making money, fucking goes to waste. And that is what makes police chases more intense in Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, because now it means something. And then, like, this game just knows how to be interesting. Like, so maybe I want a car right here. Oh, okay, so it didn't do it now, but I'll show you guys later. And then what you need to do to lose... So one thing that you can do to lose the law in this game is... If you look at the top right corner, you can see the star level I've got. So I'm on 2 stars, and you can see 2 police cars. This is a really fast car I've got, so this is actually going to be kind of difficult. But if you want to lose the law faster, there you go. If you impact police cars hard enough, it'll knock down your wanted level even faster. It's a takedown system, and it's so fun. It's so fun. And then you can see like all the physics, the driving physics is that. It's so chaotic and... It's physics driven. It is so reliant on just the random placement of traffic in the public and just the open world as a whole. It's perfect. It's so gameplay driven. And then, oh god, my car's on fire. Maybe I'll go find a different car to get. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting chased down. In fact, I'll use a bit of the gunplay as well, because the gunplay is... It's not revolutionary, it's just satisfying, and that's all it needs to be. Just taking down police officers, getting into their car, and then if you get into their car, you get a shotgun out of that. Let's see if I can switch to the shotgun. Oh my god. This game is so perfect to me. Now, there's some improvements, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. You can tell this game is just exciting me already. Oh my god, and then, like, I won't be able to take advantage of it right now, but on the map I can see a little blip, and that's like an extra drug dealer. If you explore the world, you can find more drug dealers. Oh, I just lost my wanted level, so I can. But if you explore the world, you can find more drug dealers around the world, and then if you interact with them, they get added to you as a contact, and then they'll reach out to you whenever they have a deal. And since I got cocaine on me, I can sell that for a profit right now. Boom! Now I've got blooming 23,000 cash on me. And I can use that to buy more drugs to make more profit. Or, if I really wanted to, let's see if I can do that right now. Because a lot of the game is kind of... designed around your PDA as well, the pause menu otherwise, but I like to call it the PDA. It's immersive in that sense. Maybe I want to buy me some guns. So let's see, because I've not unlocked all of the guns yet, but I've unlocked enough maybe to make a point. Oh my god, yeah, no, I can't get any of this, but you see, there's mini guns in this game, there's fucking flamethrowers, RPGs, good old assault rifles, shotguns, Uzis, you know, the typical Grand Theft Auto arsenal, man. Oh, I gotta show you, like, how you can also get Molotovs as well. Sure, I'll get a taser. I'll add that to the thing. Basically, I'll just do, like, a bulk order, right? Let's say I want a pistol and a taser, and get me a bunch of ammo for it as well. So, you'll notice how expensive it is to get guns in the top right. So that's going to cost me about 1,500. Now, I'm minted right now anyway. But when it comes to, like, the later stuff, like, it is so easy to run out of money. And that is simply what feeds into the open world loop of making money and spending money endlessly. And that's perfect. It's perfect. It's all you need in a world. All you need in a world is just the incentive to engage with it. It doesn't have to be complex. It's just simplicity at its finest. Beautiful simplicity that we don't get anymore these days. Right, so there we go. Yeah, my taser and my gun. Let's place an order for that. And then while I'm at it, let's say I access my trade info and see if there's So there's someone who is buying heroin, right? And they'll buy it for extra. So maybe what I want to do is see if there's anyone in the city who's selling heroin. Even if it's like for a shitey price, I can bring it to this guy and still make a profit. That's the genius of Chinatown Wars. It gets you thinking about, there's an opportunity there. Where can I go to take advantage of this opportunity? Oh, there's a guy selling acid here. But because what day is it in the game? It's Sunday. It is what looks like 2 in the afternoon. So I've still got time to go and find this guy and sell him some heroin. So let's say we go look at the I think the turf map. And that will tell me where I'm most likely to find certain kinds of drugs. So let's see. There's heroin in this neighboring neighborhood just to the east. So that's where I'm gonna go. Place we mark a point, have and explore around, see if we can find someone who's selling it. And it was right there. And then instantly, just my brain is hooked. Just like drugs. This game feels like drugs in a good way. There's always things going on. So let's say I drive on over there. And then it all kind of comes down to like the risk and reward thing. So I've kind of got nothing on me right now. No drugs on me whatsoever. So getting into trouble isn't as much of a risk. I can relax a little bit. I can have a good old little drive and be as reckless as I want. Oh my god. And then there's all the other stuff. So let's say there's an armory truck right there. Ooh, maybe I want to take a little advantage of like not having to pay for a gun, see what's in this truck. So if you attack it enough, and doing everything in this game is so slick as well. It's so easy, it's so fun to engage with things in this game. So the idea is to attack this truck enough where the driver gets out. They'll attack you with a shotgun, which means they can kill you quite easily. Yeah, there we go. Like, you're just dead. So if you could take that guy out, you could grab his truck, take it to your house, and then cut the thing open to see what's inside as a mini game. And I have to show you guys that at some point. And that's the other thing that Chinatown Wars does. In fact, yeah, okay, there we go. I've got another opportunity to show you guys this. Oops. Right, so let's just get this guy out of his truck. And we'll do it all under the pressure of a wanted level. Why not? And then the game looks so pretty sometimes. The game at night looks gorgeous because I love just the vibrance of like the street lights, of the car lights, of even the police lighting as well. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's why I wish so much we could get a sequel to this style of Grand Theft Auto game set in Vice City, and it would be perfect. It would be perfect, man. Oh god. No. Don't. You can tell this is like tense already. Right, if I clear some space, there we go. Grab this truck and let's take it home. So now I'm under quite a bit of pressure right now, because sure, I've managed to obtain this truck, but the thing is damaged because I had to damage it in order to get it. And that makes it this challenge of trying to get it home safe without exploding the thing. And we'll see if I can do that now. There we go, so I can lower my wanted level a wee bit. I think I'm still at a 2-star wanted level, but if I can clear one more police car, then that completely clears me. It's like calling Lester. It's like if you were to call Lester, but you had to earn it. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're in the cool. So now I'm going to drive a little careful, just because I don't want this thing to explode. Just kind of grind by the traffic here. Driving isn't too bad in this game either, because it understands that the roads are quite tight. So what it will do is it will assist you. Oh my god, and this is another thing. This game keeps doing things. Right, we'll do this first. Because one thing is like these checkpoints in the city. If you go through them too fast, then you gain a wanted level. So you gotta be careful sometimes. So if you drive through this slowly, you can pay the checkpoint guy. Let's see. There we go. And then there we go. You're cleared to go into this part of the city. I love that. I love when it does simple little things to limit you. So, one thing I'm reminded of. Shall I go do this right now? I'll do this right now. Let's go to the internet. Has anyone ever watched Nakey Jakey? Here we go. So here is where we can get started.
Back and forth with chat. If you'll have me, McFinger Whopperburger. Appreciate you throwing a ball. Okay.
So I'll structure this is I'll just kind of let him say what he wants to say. I'll pause it and then I'll kind of give you my input.
I just
This
got
will be
demons coming
this will
inside
be
me in
juicy.
version. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Return to realistic cars and car handling. Is this a clickbait thumbnail? Yes. But also no, but also yes. Check me out. More focus on realism versus GTA 5 because they toned a lot of that shit down. Think back to 4, but honestly, even more advanced than that. Like, we're basically Forza Horizon at this point. Like, we're nearing car sim because after Red Dead 2, what the fuck do you expect? They're gonna simulate how the color of your exhaust based on how many fucking the miles you've driven. You know what I'm saying? E30 confirmed in game. That's what I'm saying. GTA 4 felt slippery. That's what I mean. Of like GTA 4 was realistic in a way that wasn't realistic, but like made you think it was because it was so ridiculous.
Right.
But I think that 6 will definitely take more of a Forza Horizon approach where it's like realistic while still being arcadey, but having depth. You know what I mean? Like different tire traction, different fucking... Anyways, let's keep going.
Okay. So there's the first point that irks me in computer games in general. People are too hyper focused on realism in games, and I'm not gonna lie, here we go. It pisses me off because it takes away from what you're playing a game for in the first place. If we see Grand Theft Auto 6, and this is so likely as well, this is probably gonna happen, is they're going to want cars to drive more realistically. They want all these tiny meaningless details to show up in the game that probably cost hundreds of people fucking seeing their families coding this shit when it doesn't matter. It was the same with Red Dead Redemption 2. They fucking made it that there's a detail where horse testicles shrivel up in the cold, because that is something we need in a computer game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest. All that matters in a computer game is that the driving is fun. That's all. That is all it has to be. Just make the driving satisfying. It was fun. If you wanted to make a discussion like this a little more meaningful, it is what kind of fun driving do you want? Because he brought up Grand Theft Auto 4, which is a great example, because the driving in that game was fun in its own right, simply because it felt so heavy. It was such heavy driving. It was slippery, slidey in a way that was... it was difficult to get a grips on at first. I remember when I first tried out Grand Theft Auto 4, and I didn't like the driving. I thought it was way too slippery. But as I gave it the time, as I kind of sat down and just kind of learned to take in what it's trying to do in the first place, and that is, feel more realistic in a way that's still kind of amusing, in a way that's still, you can just feel it. You can feel the driving once you lend it respect. Then we've got a discussion here. The discussion of Grand Theft Auto 4 driving versus Grand Theft Auto 5 driving, where the driving in GTA 5 was a lot more speed focused. And that's fine. That's fine. But that is not what we're focused on with GTA 6. We're talking about, well, let's hear out this. The cars finally run out of gas. What do you mean you run out of gas? Are you kidding me? What, do I have to pay for car insurance as well? What, do I have to take it to the gas station and make sure it doesn't run? That's when we go into boring details that take away from the point of playing a computer game. Stop it. But we'll hear him out. We'll hear it out.
Cars can finally run out of gas. This is where... I like how you have songs in the PowerPoint. Well, I have them coordinated aside, but thank you. I appreciate you appreciating the effort. So, I think the fact that 5M is as popular as it is, I think that is influencing a shit ton of choices they're going to make. And these are all just my predictions and honestly my wish list, but I think that that's something they could definitely consider because they always have a bunch of gas stations. And on 5M, they added that where you actually have to interact with those things. And clearly people are so into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Why do people want this? I don't think people even think about why they want this in a game, right? there's a point that he does bring up later on, right, where it's like it would make things like car chases more interesting because you have to consider how much. And I hear you. I hear what you mean by it would have to vary up what cars you drive. But the thing is, we already had that in the older GTA games, and that was simply by how the car handles and damaging them. When they put up with too much damage and then they explode and now you have to find something different to drive. We already have that. We already have that without having to implement, now they run out of gas. That is such a useless mechanic that borders on boring now. I'm reminded of Fallout, right? To anyone who remembers the differences between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas in terms of the consumables. So, in Fallout 3, if you were running low on health, if you want to restore health, you simply ate whatever was edible on your thing, and it just restores your life bar. And for a little extra complexity, for like the apocalypse fantasy, some of it would be irradiated. You would have to consider like how irradiated your thing is, and if you gain too much radiation, then you start getting debuffs and all that. That's complex enough. In Fallout New Vegas, I don't like how they did consumables in that, because once you consumed stuff, you had to wait for the bar to recharge. Each item had a certain amount of time it took for your bar to recharge. And that's when it starts bordering on it's way too complex. It's too much to think about. It was enough when all you had to do was just consume the thing and it restored your thing. Once you start adding extra shit that just adds too much to think about, which just kind of drags away from your product as a computer game and just starts injecting realism for the sake of realism, you're just damaging what makes a fun experience. I think one of the arguments that some people would bring up is like immersion and all that. But again, you don't need hyper detail realism for an immersive game. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. As long as it's just giving you decisions to make, as long as it's just getting you to just think about it on the fundamental side of things. We don't need it to be any more than that. And that is why I think companies like Rockstar are so far gone, because they don't understand, they don't think about gameplay. They think about details for the sake of details. And details for the sake of details always just impress people on a base level without actually thinking about it. Of course it's going to impress the general audience, because when you think about it at first on paper, people are going to go, wow, oh, such details we've never seen before. This is amazing. And then what they do, like the stupid people we all are, we associate that with this is a good game. It's natural. It's a thing that we all do. But it is not the public's job to decide what makes a good game. It is the people designing the game who have a deeper understanding of how. Because one thing that I love to listen to sometimes is developers, and listening to their usually like competent developers, right? And you've got to listen to how competent developers talk about design philosophy. They always you'll always hear them challenge things to put in games, if you know what I mean. They'll introduce a fun idea that they had, but they would consider what negative effects that would have on the game as a whole. And that is just something that companies like Rockstar don't think about, because their decisions are driven by probably market investors and things like that, CEOs. People who don't play computer games, people who only think about money, and they only think about what is amazing on paper, not what's going to make it a good product or not. And that is why I think stuff like introducing cars running out of gas is pointless. It's pointless. Anyway, moving on.
More detailed damage simulation on all parts of the car, because with GTA 5, I feel like over time they gradually tone that down more and more with GTA Online. And even GTA 5 compared to GTA 4, the damage models in 4 were fucking crazy and could do all sorts of insane shit. And I feel like they're going to bring it back to that way. You know what I'm saying? You're one smart.
Now, there's a detail that's fine, you know? Like, imagine cars that you could scrunch up basically like paper again, where like they could get so misshapen, and that's fun. There's a fun detail, because that actively affects the gameplay in a neat little ways, where like imagine you're driving a car and you crash it into a corner of a wall or something by accident, and it absolutely folds the front of your car in to the point where now it's driving squint and stuff like that. That was the perfect example of how you could maintain car variety just through damage. And damage is a perfectly good fundamental mechanic where you could branch that out a little bit more and be like, oh, now they're crunching even more physically and they could make more squint and blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, imagine if you could get your car accidentally chopped in half, but you're still driving the thing. That would be amazing. That would be an amazing detail, because they're like, holy fuck, the back of my car just got chopped off.
Yo, Big Body Rick, appreciate you, dog. Am I, though? Or am I just fucking insane, but appreciate you? I'd make an incentive to steal more cars in a chase if you get a car with full gas. Yes, I don't even have to say anything. You get why I think it would be a really
So again, he's getting excited about this idea of you would have to think about what cars you'd have to get that are full of gas and all like that. Imagine grabbing a car and it's got nearly no gas and there's more intensity. But the thing is, it still drags away from the fun of just driving in a game. Well, what do you do when you get folk who just want to cruise around the game or something like that? I don't know. It's a boring detail. It goes along the lines of, because in Grand Theft Auto Online, there is literally a thing where you have to pay for car insurance. And that is a horrible thing, because now it not only makes you more timid about looking after your cars, because if you damage your cars, you have to pay for that. And then if other players damage your cars, they have to pay for that. And it's just a lose-lose situation for everyone involved. Because a part of what would have made GTA Online interesting is, imagine if a player yoinked your car and you're like, shit, I gotta get that car back. or if you want to go steal someone else's car. Now you can't, because if you do, you're punished for it. It's so useless, and it actually drags away from what the game itself is called. Grand Theft Auto, a game about hijacking cars primarily. It goes against the entire point.
Interesting choice that would also add to the immersion in a Red Dead 2 type way.
Fucking immersion all the time that they're talking about as well. I don't know about anyone else, but I get quite sick of the use of the word immersion in computer games, because people always describe that like they want to feel like they're in the computer game in a way that they just forget. Now, there was something that someone said years ago that I was listening to, and I love what they said. They always felt like immersion is kind of a bullshit statement in computer games, because whenever they were playing a computer game, they never felt like they were not playing a computer game. They were just, and they don't mean that in a way that they were not enjoying the computer. You can sink, whenever you're sinking into a game, right, and you're having a good time, I don't think anyone ever actually feels like they're not in this reality. You know what I mean? And immersion, quote unquote, can be achieved without being realistic. Immersion isn't about realism. Immersion is about just having you engaged with the decision making in a computer game. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild. That there is a quote-unquote immersive game, and it's not because it's realistic, It's because it gives you all of these decisions to make, fight or flight, what things you want to gather, how you're going to cook things, and all that kind of stuff. And cooking is like the least realistic thing in the game, because literally all you're doing is just tossing things in a pot and seeing what combinations you come up with. But it's still fun. It's still worthwhile. And it's not realistic. It's just engaging. It's just engaging. That's all it is. It's just engagement. It's not about realism. It's about what makes fun decision making. Not how convinced am I that this is real life. It's bullshit to me.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Flying out of the car with ridiculous physics like GTA 4, Red Dead 2 is back, baby. You fucking hit something on your horse in Red Dead, you go...
There's a fun inconvenience. That's a thing that I always find it amusing in Grand Theft Auto, is where if you drive into something way too hard, you go flying out the front windshield. Oh my god, I love that detail. It is so fun. Because it plays on physics, it plays on ragdoll, it plays on amusement. That is a fun inconvenience.
Flying in a way that's so hilarious and kind of realistic. GTA 4 flying out of the windshield felt way more ridiculous. In 5, you can, but it takes so much.
But again, they keep falling back on, and it's more realistic. I hate people bringing up realistic in games. Why do we want our games to be like real life? Isn't the point in a computer game to have a break from real life? I don't know. If you ask me, I say stop bringing up realism as a positive all the time. Realism doesn't mean shit in a computer game. You can say something is a bit more realistic, but what does that mean at the end of the day? Does it mean it's more fun? No. It just means, that resembles real life a little bit more. Shut the fuck up, man. We're going on a rant today.
And the Euphoria stuff just all felt super toned down. I think that there has been enough things online. Samwise, thank you for joining the pit. There's been enough stuff online of people being like, GTA 4 was actually better over time, which I think it's popular to just have like a contrarian opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that kind of happens with a lot of games. It's kind of a shame in a way, because games that were like good from the beginning, but people just didn't understand them at the start, eventually folks start to find a bit more appreciation in them once they respect what the game is trying to do. And again, it's kind of like what I said with GTA 5, people thought it was the best game ever. Like, the best game ever. But once you gave it time, people start to simmer down, actually look at the game for what it is, and realized, the open world, gives you nothing to do. And it was kind of the same with Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. It's like, folk are there to be like, oh my god, it's the most detailed thing I've ever seen in my life. There's so much that you can do. And then once time goes on, people realize, the game kind of just doesn't let you have fun over long periods of time. It focuses way too much on quote unquote immersion and realism for the wrong reasons. It doesn't think about itself as a game. It thinks of itself as a I don't know. It's such a contradictory product as a whole.
Because 5 is so popular, but I do think Rockstar definitely has had to pay attention to Ryanator, thank you for basil flipping, to the fact that people really liked that shit. You know what I'm saying? They liked the fucking ridiculous physics, and so many people have brought up that comparison, and I think after how insane Red Dead 2 physics were, they gotta be cranking Euphoria again.
For what it's worth, the physics in Red Dead 2 is great. It's just that the game doesn't give you any opportunities to actually play with that shit. You know the lasso in Red Dead Redemption 2? There is next to no reason to use that thing in the game. It gives you next to no reason to use that thing in the game. And the reason for that is simply because of their shitey honor system that punishes you for having fun. It's so fucked. And some folk might counter that with, well, maybe I'm not too fussed about the story, and I would initially agree with you if the game didn't rely so heavily on the story. The story comes first in Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you prioritize having some form of fun in the thing, the game gives you some of the most unfortunate ending, like some of the most unfortunate scenes that happen in the game because you were a naughty boy. In fact, the game punishes you for accidentally crashing a horse into a citizen, and then suddenly you got wanted levels and you're losing your honor and all that kind of stuff. And then the next thing you know, you get to the end of the game, you got the bad ending for Arthur Morgan. It's they're like, oh, come on. The game doesn't want you to have fun. The game wants you to do as you're told, be a good boy, and will reward you for that. It's so pointless. It's so pointless. Meanwhile, in Red Dead Redemption 1, it's always looking for excuses to just let you shoot somebody, to just let you grapple someone with the lasso and drag them along and things like that. Half of the activities in that game is about getting into shootouts and lassoing people and doing bounties and cheating at poker games and doing cowboy shit and still just rewarding you for it. In fact, even being the good guy in the game involves just like shooting outlaws or stuff like that. I think the extent of being a good guy and a bad guy in Red Dead Redemption 1 is basically just all about whether you want to shoot somebody and get it and do it easier, or play with the fun lasso physics and tie people up and bring them back to the law, and that's about the extent of it. And the honor system doesn't even affect the story. It just affects like whether bounty hunters are going to come after you or not, or if you want discounts at shops and things like that, and that's the extent of it. Red Dead Redemption 2 leans way too much into the quote-unquote immersion and quote-unquote realism of what being a good guy and a bad guy is all about, to the point where the story starts smacking you across the face for just wanting to unwind and have a fun time in a game. It sucks. It sucks. I hate playing that game so much. Moving on.
Come on now. Okay.
Ooh.
Stealing and driving cars is going to be way more involved. In 4, they made you mash buttons, and Nico actually took a second sometimes. In 5, it was the same thing, but they kind of toned it down. To Fustercluck, Basil flipped, and he had this idea as well, or she, or they. Appreciate you. As a huge Chinatown Wars fan, that a lot of people write off as just a mobile spin-off, no, it's an official GTA game with GTA 4's whole map on a DS or PSP, and it's one of my favorite GTA games.
He's very right.
This is one of the reasons why. The drug dealing as well, which also... Okay, this is a tangent. Someone asked, Hantorino, thank you for Basil Flip, but someone asked what some of my favorite Games That Shebang episodes I made were. The Chinatown Wars X Skyrim is one of my favorites because I was basically like, what if you had an open world game that was like an RPG, but you were manufacturing and selling drugs? Schedule 1 came out.
Tell you what, right, we'll start off here. Once again, we're kind of playing on the concept of fun inconveniences. So, Jake brought up Grand Theft Auto 4 and how they do hot wiring in the game. Now, in Grand Theft Auto 4, hot wiring is not very interesting. Therefore, it's a boring inconvenience because you're literally just kind of waiting for the car to switch on. But in Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, it makes these inconveniences so fun because they're mini games. There's one, so like this one right here, and we'll show this in the game in a second. Once we're done with all this, that's when we'll go back to actually talking about Chinatown Wars. But so for example, this one right here, there's a mini game where you're literally taking a screwdriver, jamming it into the ignition, and it involves like spinning the analog stick around left and then spinning it around right and then hitting the X button, and it switches the car on, and it's all based on how quickly you can do the mini game, and that is so fun. There's another one that's like right in the corner right here, and they're always like depicted by these wonderful little... It's that classic rock star artwork that we don't get anymore. I miss it so much. I miss it so much from like GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, when they had that amazing comic book art style. And they got rid of that for the sake of realism, man. I fucking hate it. I miss it so much. But yeah, there's this one right here as well, because there's different ones. There's different ones based on the car that you're getting into. There's one where you literally have to yank a plate off of the thing and then like literally hot wire the thing. You're taking both of the wires and then you're connecting them together and then you're doing the analog swizzle to twist the wires together and it switches it on. Chinatown Wars is genius for this. And if they do bring this back as well, you know they're not going to do it nearly as good in GTA 6. Because they'll just do it where, like, maybe the camera just zooms in on the thing and it's like, I don't know, it's not as interesting as having a hand-drawn comic book depiction of the thing is. I don't know. It's a beautiful way of integrating detail into a game with very basic assets, hence making the game feel even more presentation than anything else. It's... I love GTA Chinatown Wars, man. We're never going to get anything like it again unless some indie developer has a shot at it themselves, man.
Picture, but you get the idea.
God
it's like
damn it.
Obviously in a game that's not going to have these pop-up screens, but I think that they could have just a little bit more in-depth. So like, if you're breaking the glass on some Last of Us 2 part shit...
It would be beautiful if that's what they did, though, because it's stylistic. That's the thing. It's stylish. That's the point. We have... modern AAA games have abandoned style for default realism, and it's why they all blend. It's a part of why all modern games blend together these days, because they all want to achieve realism, and it's boring. It's the same. There's no differentiation between them because none of them rely on style anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Or Last of Us Part 2 type shit. My brain is fucking fried at this point. I'm getting flashbanged by my own PowerPoint. I feel like it'd be a more involved process, so if you're switching cars during a chase, you gotta actually think through that shit.
Oh,
they
yeah.
might not, because...
Like, the idea of the risk of there's a fast car parked over there, but the thing might be locked, and I might need to unlock the thing under pressure. And if I can't do the minigame quick enough, I might get yanked out of the car by a police officer and all that. Oh... There's so many good ideas for computer games out there still, and no one is taking them.
You know, they don't want to make it too inaccessible because it's going to be the most popular game ever made, but folding chair hype? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right there. We're good. Okay. This is one that I'm on the fence if they'll do, and I could see them having it as an option because you know they're going for realism in so many aspects. I would be...
And once again, it's just another instance of this dumb idea of what if we can manually shift gears while driving for extra realism? It sets me off. It actually sets me off when I see stuff like this come up, when I see people fantasize about this as if it's a good idea. If we're talking about a driving sim, sure. Do your manual shifting, do your fucking dashboard buttons where you gotta make things... For sim games, sure. For sim games, sure. But why do people with way too much time on their hands put this up, man? 'Cause they're stupid. Oh. For what it's worth, like Jakey is Nakey Jakey is a person. He's a decent dude, you know, but he's a guy with too much time on his hands. He's a guy whose job it is to play computer games. And what these people forget to incorporate is that not everyone has all this time on their hands to engage with overly pretentious products like this that demand so much of your time, that demand so much of your knowledge, that demand so much of your learning how to even engage with the fucking game in the first place. When most of us work jobs. When most of us barely even get to have an evening to ourselves. When most of us just want to sit down and fucking relax when we get the time to do it. We don't care about manual shifting. We don't care about cars that run out of the... We don't care about paying for car insurance. We don't care for... we don't care about realism for the sake of realism. We care about just having a fucking good time. Well, we can still do that before we have to go to work tomorrow, before we have to pick up the kids from school, before we have to fucking get back to whatever the fuck that life demands us to do. Why do so many people with so much time in their hands forget to think about this? It's, we're stupid. We're stupid.
Stoked if there was finally manual shifting, but I could see a lot of people bouncing off this, and this one I'm less, like, I'm honestly okay if they don't have it, but I would like it. I'm so into that. This one I feel like they could easily have it as an option. You know what I'm saying?
Then go play a driving sim. Not a game that... What was it? I remember I was doing a video on Ananta, right? Just recently. And a big part of what bugged me about that game is it's a game that wants to do everything. And making a game that covers everything takes away from the quality of doing just one thing. Because no one has the time to make all of that work. No one has the resources to make all of that work within a reasonable development period. It's a part of why I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be such a problem game, because it's been in development for God knows how long. For God knows how long. The last Grand Theft Auto game was over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. No one has that time on their hands. No one realistically has the time to wait for a computer game. People have... It's like people... Guaranteed numbers and numbers of people have died since the last Grand Theft Auto game. Folk who are in primary school are now working in society since the last Grand Theft Auto game. Who the fuck wants to dedicate over 10 years of time just to look forward to the next? No one. No one realistically. Only people with way too much time on their hands engage with this kind of bullshit. And it is ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Right. So... Nakey Jakey, no, he's a good guy. I can tell that he's a good guy. He doesn't mean any harm. So don't take this as witch hunt the guy for what he's saying, because for what it's worth, what he has to say still brings value to discussion. He's the kind of person who wants to see this kind of stuff in his Grand Theft Auto game. But he forgets to think about, what does that do to the development time of the game? What does that do to the overall experience of your game? So I mentioned Ananta and how that tries to cover everything. And the problem with that is it degrades quality. It degrades the quality of what your core game experience is going to be. Grand Theft Auto should be a game about just committing crimes. It shouldn't be a game about maintaining cars, about going shopping, about fucking paying for car insurance or anything like that. Grand Theft Auto is a game about being a criminal. Give us fun little things that make being a criminal in a game about being a criminal fun. It shouldn't be a game about, maybe I'll go golfing today. Maybe I'll do some bowling today. It takes away from the core experience. And it sounds exactly like what people think they want everything in their game. And that's probably what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to try and do. It's probably going to try and implement manual gear shifting, cars that run out of petrol, doing manual shopping, going and doing random side activities that don't matter in the slightest. And you know what that leaves you with? It leaves you with a completely directionless experience with no identity of its own, because it didn't pick something that it wanted to do at its core. It chose to do everything, like everything is trying to be. And that ultimately leads you to just a game that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest. It's what Red Dead Redemption does. It wants you to be able to be a people person and do shopping and and maintain gun weapons. You can hunt in the game. You can bounty hunt in the game. You can do chores at your camp. You can, gosh, what other useless things can you do in the game that just take away from the point of the game being a cowboy game? It punishes you for doing cowboy shit in the game. It requires you to interact with citizens in the game. You can have conversations with NPCs. The NPCs have... What is it? There's a detail where the NPCs actually have fully programmed, every single one of them, by the way. Every single one of the NPCs in Red Dead Redemption 2 are pre-designed as individual, like, actual characters that have life routines. They have life routines where they'll go to work, they'll go to the bar afterwards, they'll go to bed, they'll wake up the next day and do it all over again. And what does that bring to the game in itself? What is the point in that? What is the actual point in that? I hate it so much. I actually hate it with every fiber of my being. Because it brings nothing but damage to everyone involved. To the people who aren't going to even notice that. To the people who had to painstakingly design that for nothing. For absolutely nothing. But it's impressive to the stupid people out there with too much time on their hands, because the idea that that is a thing, it seems impressive to them. And they're like, whoa, that is so cool. But it doesn't do anything, is the thing. It is so much work for nothing. Ugh. And I think, yeah, okay, going back to my point is, and I think people who say this kind of stuff, I would love to see this in the game, they don't think about it. They don't think about how much that actually impacts. They just want it for the sake of having it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Toggleable. There you go. Let's keep it going.
And then the thing that I heard is like, but maybe you can just make a setting where you can switch it on or off. And then for some reason that seems to be this blanket statement that excuses that kind of stuff as well. You know, hopefully that makes sense.
Functional blinkertons. Okay.
No!
If you add Oblivion lockpicking.
No! Again, we're going to the useless shit that doesn't do anything for us. Wow, what if we could what if we can actually indicate which way we're gonna steer? Is this real life or is this a fucking computer game, man? Again, I'm genuinely ranting here. Because, again, this is just people bringing up shitty just details for the sake of details, but not the gameplay, not the game, not the product that is supposed to just let us unwind for a fucking minute. I want functioning indicating lights in my criminal game, man. Oh, that's a bad one right there. That is a fucking bad one right there. I want functional blinkertons in my game. Sit down and ask yourself why you're asking for that. To anyone out there who wants shit like this in their game, do you ever actually sit down and ask yourself why? What do you want that for? What do you need that for? Why? Why? I don't understand people like you. God damn it.
Because I play a lot of Forza and shit like that, or I have on controller in quarantine.
Yeah, but good for you. You play a lot of Forza. But Grand Theft Auto is not Forza. It doesn't need to be Forza. Fuck you, man. Not really. Fuck you. Again, please don't take this as I hate the guy or anything like that. I'm just disagreeing with him. That's all it is. The reason it frustrates me so much is just because it's such a common thing that you see in modern audiences, is they don't think this shit through and they just throw it up there. And then even worse is the big companies take that shit seriously and go, you know what You know what would really impress the public? Putting in functional blinkertons that you actually have to abide by. That would be very cool. Oh my god, we're going to really knock people's socks off with this one until, give it a few months, it wears off, people get sick of it and realize that it wasn't a good idea in the first place. Because people don't know what they want. The general public don't know what they want. It's why it's not their job to design a game. It's the developer's job to think about that sort of stuff, not the public.
Kind of like the manual shifting in cars. I am a freak where I would actually be really into the immersive element of having to pay a little bit more attention when you're zooming through intersections or bashing into cars. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be super black and white that it's crazy, but
it's overthinking at its worst, man. It is overthinking at its worst.
Think like, oh, you didn't use your blinker when you turned in front of a cop. No, I'm not saying they should do that because that would get super annoying. It doesn't have to be that level. Sick Reva, thank you for basil flipping into the pit. Setting you could turn on, see? I feel like there's a happy middle ground. Hopefully more in-depth patterns versus just spawning in front of you. Yes.
They don't just spawn in front of you. Again, this is like, what's the point in that? So the way the police work the way the police spawn in the world is the same way that all of like the NPCs spawn. They don't spawn in front of you in GTA. In Cyberpunk, there is a problem with that, and yeah, no, that's a genuine criticism. But in Grand Theft Auto, all of the Grand Theft Auto games, their method has been to spawn them far away from you. And then when it came to, I think it was by Grand Theft Auto 4, I think. At least Grand Theft Auto 5, they do it where you can see where the police are on your little radar. They spawn them far away, and if you want to lose your wanted level, you gotta like drive away from where they're at and like make sure you avoid their line of sight. That's fun. That's quite a fun way to lose a wanted level, because it dictates which way you gotta go. You gotta make decisions on which way. It's like, oh shit, there's a bunch of police over there. Maybe I can take this alleyway and drive down there and shit like that. That's interesting. If we're talking, and that's all it needs to be as well, it's literally just spawning them at a distance and that sort of thing. If we're talking more in-depth patterns of where the police are going to come from, you better not tell me that what you want is for them to physically dispatch from a nearby police station or something and start investigating the area. What's the point in that? What is the actual point in that if you're not there to see it? You know what I mean? What is the point in programming all of that when you're going to get the exact same effect by just spawning them far away? There's no point. There's no point in requesting this kind of stuff. You have too much time on your hands if that's what you're thinking about.
If someone's going to figure out how to do this, it's Rockstar. With all the shit that is leaked about them having the interiors of buildings generated and stuff, this is something I talked about a lot in the Red Dead video of like trying to do heists or trying to rob stores, and then, you know, you can't really track the patterns of where cops are because they just spawn in front of you, and GTA 5 is the same way. That's something that I think is huge, where it's like if you're actually simulating with a police scanner, that's what I'm saying, that you could have at least a certain radius of cops spawning and on their fucking Oblivion, like, Radiant AI shit, and then you could actually plan.
All you have to do to fix that is just spawn them farther away so you can actually kind of see... Basically, the issue he's just bringing up is that he wants more of a chance to see where they're coming from before you make a decision. That's fine, but you don't need more in-depth methods of spawning them. You just need to spawn them farther away so like they're there before the radar can detect them. That's it. That's all. You don't need anything more complex than that.
And like robbing a liquor store or things around that
you're absolutely overthinking it.
Find out the next stakeout spots to be cool as hell. Yes. It doesn't have to be super fucking like punishing and crazy inaccessible, but I think just having something where it's not just 2013 GTA 5, a cop spawns right in front of you because you're driving that way with a 5-star. Remove the minimap.
No, it's not as bad as that. I can hear the issue that he's bringing up, that like, yeah, in Grand Theft Auto 5, on the radar, you can see the little blips on the radar just kind of pop into place, and it doesn't give you much time to react to it. That's basically what he's talking about. But it doesn't need to be more in-depth past patterns of whatever the fuck's going on there. It just needs to be, just spawn them from farther away.
It's a hot take, but I'm listening because I'm all for less shit on the HUD. And that could be very immersive. So I'm listening. Just set it to a handicap setting or something.
Immersive. They keep associating realism with immersion. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I understand when folk just don't want, like, a cluttered HUD on their screen. That's fine. I'm not... But when you start treating this stuff like it's like, oh, what if I have to read the signs to go wherever it is? I'm like, what do you actually need that for? You don't need that. And that would take so much more effort to do than what it's worth. It's so much more effort to do than what it's worth. Calm down. Is all. I mean, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. But at the same time, chill out with this sort of stuff. You don't need... Because again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, the cat agrees with me. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I know. I remember there's one project. I'll side tangent a little bit here. There's one project that I still lightly follow to this day. Where is it? It's called Get to the Orange Door. Get to the Orange Door. It's a cool project, actually. It's like a roguelite Titanfall style first-person shooter. But in the Discord server, I used to be very involved in what I wanted to see in the game. And I used to throw up suggestions left and right. I want to see this. I want to see that. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll never forget when the main developer kind of just sort of pulled me aside and explained to me this one thing that I wanted to see in the game. What was it? It was basically what I suggested was something complex. Something that would take a lot of work to do. Something that might not even be compatible with the engine that he's designing the game on. So he explained that to me. He just explained, what you're suggesting is a good idea, but it's not an achievable one, because I am an indie developer. I can't, and he wasn't like angry. He just explained it to me. He just explained it to me why it wouldn't really work. And I never forgot that. I'll never forget that. And I'm so glad that he did explain that to me, because it got me thinking about, because it's easy. It's easy to come up with ideas for a game. But what people don't realize is game design isn't just about coming up with ideas. It's about what ideas can you afford to design in your game. What ideas will pay off? What ideas will be worth the effort it takes to implement them? That's the point. And that all comes down to the ideas that are typically worth implementing into your game are the ones that affect the gameplay in a positive way. Not the ones that are just there for the sake of it. It's a waste of time and resources. And let's see if I can relate that to... And that is exactly the kind of thing that in-depth spawning patterns for police in Grand Theft Auto 6 is so not worth it. It's not worth it. What is it? Because I think an example would be, police dispatch realistically from police stations. What is the point in that if you're not there to see it? And the only reason you would go and see it is if you actively went to go and see it. It's like people who focus on high-definition textures in a game, where people think a game looks good just because they can basically press their face up against a wall and go, whoa, that's a high-definition texture. But realistically, you don't play a game like that. So stop asking for these things that don't apply to what you're playing the game for. It's redundant. And yeah, it's a lesson I'll never forget from speaking to a game developer. It was great.
See, that's the thing, is I think Rockstar, in trying to make the net super wide and having something super accessible, because it's going to sell more than any game ever has, other than like Minecraft probably. I don't see them being.
That's the issue with Grand Theft Auto as well. It's a thing that a lot of successful franchises fall into. Once your franchise just makes money just for being the name, like Star Wars, like Fortnite, or just in fact, mainly Star Wars. Star Wars just sells because it's popular, because it got to that position in the first place. So it doesn't matter whether they make a good product or not anymore, because people are foolishly just going to buy it anyway because they love Star Wars. They don't think about the quality. They think about the brand name. They think about, well, I grew up on this, and I like that because I grew up on it, so I'm going to buy it. And it's the exact same issue with Rockstar fans. They're going to buy this shit just because they grew up on it. It's foolish. It's foolish. And again, it's why, like, Grand Theft Auto 6, it's not going to be a meaningful game. It's not going to be. Because it's not going to be a meaningful, well-designed, intuitive game because it doesn't have to be. It's going to make its money regardless. And that is why we're going to see people like Nakey Jakey be catered to, because they can do that. It doesn't matter. All they need to do is implement the idea of all these things that are in the game that will overwhelm people on release, that will push them into buying the game. And then once they buy the game, there we go, that's it. That's all they had to do. They just had to reach sales numbers. People aren't going to look at reviews. People aren't going to do, because it's hype. It's all just hype.
Super like
it's
a
cesspit.
With these things.
It is a cesspit.
But with how in depth Red Dead 2 was with certain things, and that even people like me were annoyed by some of them, if they fully go into it, I like it, and that's gonna segue into the next shit. But let us honk the horn while the siren is on the cop car, or listen to the radio while you're in a cop car. Dilly Dally 4381 just basil flipped in the pit. Appreciate you. I will die on this.
That reminds me of one little fun feature I remember coming up with. Is like, it'd be cool if you could give your character an MP3 player. And they could stick in earphones and you can just put on any music that you want. There's like just a fun little feature, you know? Neat little detail, and you can just like play music while you're on foot. That's a meaningful change, because it's just, I can vibe out while doing whatever I want on foot.
Yes. No, you're right. You're 100%
and it
right.
probably wouldn't take too much work to do either.
And
stuff like that.
GTA 5, non-dairy dessert. Thank you for joining the pit. Welcome to the discussion. Red Dead 2 introduced that disguise system that I shit my pants while talking about in that dumbass video. And it kind of works sometimes where if you leave a town and come back and you have a disguise, they won't recognize you. In GTA 5, they introduced where you can like duck when cops drive by, which doesn't really seem to affect it that much, but it's a cool idea. I think doubling down on a disguise system that also lends to what car you're in while the cops are looking for you. It affects it a tiny bit in GTA 5, but not near.
I've actually seen this feature in a game before. It was driver parallel lines, and that's a pretty cool feature. There's a thing you can do where the wanted system works on however you were seen committing a crime. So if you were on foot and you commit a crime, the police are going to identify you as the player character. So if you get into a car and hide in that car, well, they're looking for a player character who was on foot. And until they identify you next, that's what they're going to be looking for. So you can use that to your advantage to actually sneak by police officers. And that's a cool feature. That is innovative. And it also works with whatever car you were last seen in. So if you commit a crime in a certain car, they're going to be looking for that car. So you can use that to your advantage. If you switch cars while they can't see you, they're still just looking for the car. So if you drive past them in a different car, they don't realize it's you. And, oh gosh, what are you doing up there? Ugh, the cat's climbing. Well, the cat's stuck in the door right now. I think I got to get her down. You all right? What are you doing? Excuse me, I'll be right back. The cat got stuck on top of a door because she was climbing my jackets. And then, as a cat does, she got scared of the heights and her tail puffed up and everything. She was terrified. I helped her down. I think it's just because whenever she hears me speaking, she gets riled up and hyper. I guess understandably so. I get pretty energetic whenever I'm doing stuff like this. What can you do, though? Yeah, whenever I talk, she wants to talk as well. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, what is it? Disguise system. So, yeah, no, we've seen this before, and it was on a PlayStation 2 game, Parallel Lines. What was it I was saying? I was on the car parts. Yeah. So, you could, switch cars when police weren't looking, and then you could use that to drive past them without them realizing it. Unless you stayed around them for too long, then they would, like, squint through the window and realize, wait a minute, that looks a bit like the driver. We gotta go get him. And then one extra little neat feature, which was also just innovative, was because you could customize cars in the game, which is fun. That's fun in its own right. And one feature that you can do is you can darken the windows so they can't see through the car. And that was a thing that basically it meant that if you commit a crime in a car with darkened windows, they would only identify the car, but not the driver. So it gives you that extra edge of being able to just disappear if you're caught committing a crime in a car. And that's a cool feature. That's fine. That is fine, because it just plays on that system of being a criminal. That's the point. If you're going to make a game, you need to pick a core experience. Then, if you want to add extra features, you want to make sure that those extra features cater to the core experience. Not just extra pointless shit that's like, oh, I want to go golfing, oh, I want to go parasailing, or something stupid like that.
Nearly as much to make it super interesting. This kind of shit, combined with knowing the patterns of the cops, I think would make for crazy fucking police chases. Shoplifting clothes to help you disguise. That's what I'm saying. Which that is not a slide that I put in here, but that was something I thought about, is that because they're doing...
Dude, imagine if they implement fucking clothes that will get dirty, and the only way... Oh my god, that was one of my least favorite features in Red Dead Redemption 2, that your character gradually grows a beard over time, so you have to actually maintain your fucking beard. Fuck off. And then it's the same as, like, if your character gets dirty, you actually have to go and wash him to get rid of it. Fuck off. Just make it that maybe your character can get dirty, but the dirt just wears off over time. Don't make it an extra mechanic that doesn't add anything to the fun of the gameplay. Don't. It's pointless. And you know they're going to do that again. You know they're going to do that again in Grand Theft Auto 6. Because people think that's a cool thing just because it's there. Not because it's fun.
Doing a lot more building interiors. We're yapping away. I think some of those building interiors are going to be stores. In the trailer, Jason's walking out the fucking store with beer. That could be in gameplay. They said some of it is gameplay. So if you can go grocery shopping, or you could go clothes shopping, and you can still enter those buildings while you're...
Again, they're fucking up the whole point. They make imagine if you could go grocery shopping so you can maintain a hunger meter or something stupid like that. What does that have to do with being a criminal? Okay, so... I think that highlights a lot of what my problem is with modern expectations regarding GTA and just games in general. Games that just cater to people who just want details and realism for the sake of details and realism when it doesn't add anything to your game. We don't see much simplicity anymore. And a part of what makes computer games in general so appealing is just being able to flick them on and just switch off for a bit and just have some fun. That's all it is. Most people who lead regular lives don't care about this sort of stuff. They care about having fun. And here we go. So that's kind of the thing that I really appreciate GTA Chinatown Wars for. It is a wonderful balance of an intricate system done in such a simple way that is just flat out fun. That's all it is. You don't need to do any ridiculous prep or anything like that. Everything you do in the game is rewarding, and here we go. We'll dive right back into it. Whew. To anyone who found that tedious, I apologize, but a lot of this is just for me as well to like kind of script things out, and the whole like that's what this podcast is all about. It's just kind of diving into design philosophies of whatever game I want to cover. And yeah, GTA Chinatown Wars is one of those games that I really want to do a cleverly stupid presentation on, so I got to look into all this stuff so I can, condense it into a good old script. So, where are we? Oh yeah, I was getting this truck back to the thing. Okay, so wow. So I must have been talking about the side activities that you can do in this game, and one of those is that you can hijack armory trucks and take them back to one of your safe houses. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you how that works because it's such a cool feature, and it contributes to the core experience of being a drug dealer, being able to defend yourself when the law is after you. Being equipped for chaotic situations. Instead of paying full price for weapons, you see an armory truck and see an opportunity to get yourself something good. What's inside this truck? I don't know, but hopefully it's good, and it's fun doing it as well. Oh, and then even right here, this is the order that I put in, because that's the thing, on your PDA you can order delivery for weapons that you purchase, and in order to get those weapons, you gotta go back to your safe house and pick them up. That's just neat. That's just cool. It's a fun type of inconvenience. It is the good kind of immersion, where it's like, the payoff for that is that you can specifically request what it is that you want, but you just got to integrate that into the schedule that you have set up with yourself for the open world. Because like I said earlier, much earlier, oh yeah, because my opportunity's gone. The guy who was selling heroin is not going to sell it anymore by Monday. It's Monday now. So I'm too late. And that's the kind of thing that makes me have to think about what it is that I want to do first. Do I pick up my guns now? Or do I save that for later and go and do my deal first, then go and do that? And this is the thing that Chinatown Wars open world does when you're not doing missions. It just gives you the fun type of busy work to do that keeps your mind occupied, that keeps you engaging with all of the game's mechanics, and also has you thinking about how you're going to prioritize. It is multitasking. It's perfect. And it's not even that complex. All of them are simple, but they're satisfying, and that's all it has to be. So, if I continue on here, so I picked up my weapons here, and then I've got like a taser and extra pistol ammo, bro. And then, on top of that, so, because I saw the opportunity to grab this truck, I can just drive that thing home, and then it gives you a mini game to manually cut the thing open. It's so cool, because if you do it too fast, then you get like all these like little divots that you have to go back over to make sure you thoroughly open it before your timer runs out, which I'll try and do now, which I failed to do. Damn it, I suck at showcasing this. Can I get it out? Does it let me have it anyway? Okay, so I can try again. So it's not actually that high pressure. But if I can do this mini game real quick, I'm rewarded with whatever's inside, and in this case, what do I get to have? I get to have a shotgun. Oh, good old shotgun, some extra shotgun ammo, and I didn't have to pay for it. That is the beauty of Chinatown's side activities. They're all just random open world things that still contribute to your occupation as an illegal drug dealer. So, let's see. What am I going to do next? Well, I just got an email. So, what's the email about? Got another tip-off. What's the opportunity? Some college punks are willing to pay big time for some downers. So, if I can get my hands on some pills, these guys are willing to buy it off of me for an extra expensive price. So, there's no point in me doing that right now, because I don't have pills on me right now. But that will be set in the back burner for me later on. It's all recorded in the trade info tab. So, let's see. And then here's the extra thing. Let's see if I can, showcase this. Because there's also folk who really want acid, and they're going to pay extra for that. And that's more expensive than pills are. But it's going to expire soon. So I've got a decision to make. I could take the extra time to go get as many pills as I fucking want to go sell that. Or, if I hurry up and go find the more expensive stuff somewhere, I can go do that before the next day dawns. So why not? Let's go try and do that. Let's take an extra challenge or so. Now, where am I going to find acid? Well, I can check with a GPS. So where am I going to find acid? Where do I need to go if I want acid? No, that's what they prefer to purchase. I need to find an area in the city whose main supply is acid. I feel like YouTube is not going to like me using the drug words on this, but what can you do? Oh, okay, so that's where I'm going to be able to find. So there's one dealer I know in there that deals acid, so let's go over there. There we go, that's set. And then let's see, I'll go pick up a car. I'm waiting to find a car that I can, hotwire and stuff, because, you gotta see this. Because it's so interactive is the thing. I have never played another game that is... I've never played another open world game that is more interactive than Chinatown Wars is. The closest I can think of is the Godfather game, because that's a game that their main feature in the open world is that you're able to shake down shopkeepers for protection money. It's so cool. And they all have little exploits, there's some things that certain shopkeepers are particularly scared of, so you can use that against them to get more money out of them, and then once you establish that you're the top dog and you're going to pay money to me now, they pay more money to you based on how well you stressed them out. It's so good. You can actually grab them and slam them off of their own windows or something like that. It is so mafia. It's so good. Right, so this guy is selling... Oh, that's a lot of acid as well. That's like a jackpot right there. So I'm going to buy as much of that as I can afford. Which is probably all of it, actually. No, it's only half of it. And then that's where another interesting dilemma comes into play. I don't have enough money for this. But if I keep this guy in mind, go sell off all of the... In fact, that's all I can carry. That's why I can't get it all. Because I can only carry 50 of it. So, if I am quick and I go and sell all of that off as fast as I can, race back to this guy, grab the rest of what he's got, and then go sell it again before Tuesday comes along, then I'm making a mint. And let's see if we can do that. Because that in of itself is a challenge. It's interesting engagement. And luckily for me, it wasn't a bust here, so it makes it easier for me There's always risks here and there that will, like, push you into certain scenarios. Like, right here we go! A locked car that I've got to manually unscrew the cap, put the wires together, twist it, and hotwire it. And if I fail that, if I don't do that quick enough, because this is like one of the easiest ones, but some of them have like more complicated like computers that you've got to like plug into and like match numbers with. And if you don't do that in time, the car alarm goes off. And then if the police are nearby when that happens, you gain a wanted level, and then you have to try and lose them. It's just stuff like that. And it's not done in a complex way. They're just simple, neat little features that bounce off of one another in an amazing way that make the game fun. I love this game so much for it. And everything is so nicely paced as well. Everything is just moment to moment. Just jump here, jump there. You got to do this, then you got to do that. Do. It's fast paced. It's amazing. The game doesn't slow you down with anything. It just drops neat little things that you got to take care of here and there that keep your brain engaged. Right, so, as quickly as I can, because it's actually early in the day. I've got, because what is it, it's 4 in the morning, so that's really, really early. I've got lots of time, or at least just enough time. But it's quite far away, so I'm just, and then I think that's when things like taxis come into play. I could go get a taxi, but they drive slower. Sure, I can get there, like, quicker in terms of real life time and, like, just fast travel, but that skips on later on into the day. So, instead, I could drive there myself and drive as fast as I can if I do it myself and actually give myself and increase the odds that I am able to do all of this. It's great. It's the kind of thing that forces me to drive recklessly, hence it puts me at a risk at causing accidents and attracting police attention. I'm being clumsy, it's just because I'm like speaking at the same time. And none of it is complex. It just interacts with each other in such a way that no overthunk GTA 6 realism for the sake of realism will ever achieve. So as fast as I possibly can, I'm going to get to this dealer, hopefully without drawing attention to myself, because that's going to cost me precious time. Because the challenge is basically just not to... You see what I mean? The challenge is there. The challenge is to not crash into any cars, is to not run over too many citizens. Because that is all the pressure it needs to place on you. So anyway, yeah, sell all of this. Sell all of it. Now I've got hella money. Right. Oh my gosh, I got a wrecked car right here. Maybe I don't actually want to drive that because I might explode. So let's go grab a different car. Grab this muscle car. I like these cars. Oops, I got caught robbing a thing and the guy's trying to get me out of the car. Oh no, I'm busted. All of these consequences were already there. They don't need to be that complex to be engaging. And then luckily for me, I didn't have any drugs on me or anything like that, so I'm not actually missing out on much money. But it did cost me being in the middle of the day now, and I think I've lost all of my weapons as well. There's still these consequences, but the fun dynamic is the consequences are not as harsh when you don't have any inventory on you compared to if you did, because then you're risking even more. And then that kind of opens up that feeling in your mind of like, oh shit, that intensity of, oh shit, I've got all this stuff on me, I really don't want to get caught, versus those that nice little balanced downtime moment of, oh well, if I get caught it'll be alright, I'm not missing out on much. I'll get better at like playing it and talking at the same time one day. I'm terrible at it now. And again, if you explore the city more, so if I explored this area even more, I could probably find more dealers in the area that I can take advantage of at this time, but I only know one of them in there. And the benefit of knowing dealers in there is that you can set direct waypoints to them, so you can speed up the process of getting to them. It's a gorgeous system. It's a gorgeous system. And none of it requires me to learn any overly designed, overthunk, pretentious, realistic ideas or anything like that. Again, it's a game that is easy to pick up. I'm not sure if even hard to master is really the word, but it's just an easy to pick up game that just has you engaged straight off the bat. Because it's a little bit complex in its own right. I can imagine some folk not quite understanding how to engage with this sort of system, but it's not. As far as like even management games go, this is not complex. It's not that complicated. It's just satisfying. It doesn't have to be everybody's cup of tea. It just needs to execute it right. And then, of course, people who just want to drive around and shoot things and blah, blah, they can still do that. You could always do that in a GTA game. But the question I do bring to the table, and one that a lot of people tend to overthink, is there not something a little more engaging I can do in your open world game? It doesn't have to be everything. Just give me a core thing to do in the open world game that just keeps me hooked. That's all. Because, like many people get just a little bit bored of like the whole rampaging thing. It's fun to do every now and again. It is. Eventually get bored of it. It doesn't last that long. The fun of doing it doesn't really stick for very long. You get bored and you be like, okay, I want to do something else now. What else can I do? Oh, you can go golfing. Oh, you can do bowling. Oh. Can I not do, like, other crazy crime shit? Can I not, like, go and rob a bank somewhere or something? No, that's just one of the main missions. Oh. And what can I do? Nothing. Try going on a rampage again. No, I don't wanna. You know what I mean? Give me a game that, even if it's just a simple little system that you can engage with, still do your simple system. Do a simple system of stuff. Drug dealer. Make it your drug dealer, and it's just the simple. Go to that connection, pick up a thing over there, and then deliver it over there without getting caught by the police and stuff like that. And just make it that I can do that to my heart's content, and it sets off my brain in such a way that is just so addicting. It's great. That's all GTA has to be, man. And then, I noticed this guy also had some diners. He's selling them pretty expensive, but that doesn't matter to me, because I know a guy who will pay me extra for them anyway, and I'll still make a profit. So, since I'm here, I'll pick up 10 of those. Why not? This is precisely what I mean. The game just drops things in front of you that you can go, oh, I can take advantage of that. Oh, this is happening over here. Oh, I'll go do that. There's a truck over there I can pick up. Shall I do that now? I don't have a lot of time. I'll leave it now. Or it could be the opposite thing. Oh, I got some time. Yeah, I can do a truck real quick. Oh, a car, I got a hot wire. Oh, let's quickly do that. There's a constant buzz about this game that just constantly has your mind just going, this, that. You know what I mean? Better check my PDA, open that up, figure out where that guy that I'm selling to is. And then, if I can do that real quick, get it over and done with. Because it's now 3 in the afternoon. In fact, I probably have enough time to go grab a taxi and just skip the journey there. Taxi. Because it shouldn't take them that long. And I'm delivering the rest of the stuff that guy had anyway, so it should be fine. I get there and it's only 3:30. Sell. Get rid of the rest of this. Shebang, I'm done. And then I could keep, like, finding more acid to sell to this guy, but it would be it's too much effort. I already profited plenty off of that. I'm going to take the time to take advantage of the other stuff going on now. This game's gorgeous for that. I love this game so much for what it does. Let's see, what's like a fast car around here? There we go, we'll take this one. This is a part of what I miss from the Grand Theft Auto games as well, because Grand Theft Auto 5 severely relies on you using one car that you'll upgrade and that sort of thing, and I think that sucks because it takes away from that variety of oh gosh, there's the pills guy. I might as well go visit him. I love this game because it's just so busy, man. It's great. There we go. And there we go, I'm selling these things for a profit, even though I bought them at a bad price. Oh my god. I'm curious. I don't need health right now, but just for example's sake, flick the lid open, pull it all out. There we go, I found a burger in here and I get all my health back. It's so full of things, man. And that's not even me talking about, like, the campaign stuff, like the missions and that, because the missions are good. But I think, like many people, it's not what a lot of people come to a Grand Theft Auto game for primarily. Primarily, people come to a Grand Theft Auto game for the open world. And this is a good open world, because it just keeps you busy. Here, I'm going to summon a taxi, actually. I'm going to do that. Because I'll show you what you can do with extra drugs that you don't really need for the time being. Well, actually, I'm minted right now, so maybe I could actually go buy a house. Let's go do this one. Let's say we take a taxi over there. And because I'm a drug dealer and I'm minted right now, I could go sign a contract and... Let's see. Yeah. Oh, it's not as interactive here. But yeah, everything has like an interactive minigame where you can like sign a contract and that. I remember this was on the Nintendo DS and you could actually scribble a little signature on the thing actively with the pen. You can't do it in the PSP version. You just press the button. But still, it still like counts for a little something. And there we go, I got this house, and I got my little storage box where you can store as much of whatever you want in this thing. And it just saves you from that pressure of having to protect yourself while you've got expensive stuff on you. Just get rid of it all, put it all in this little storage box. And there we go. Oh, and I just so happen to have weed on me as well, so I'll take that with me because someone wants weed. You see what I mean? The game knows how to keep you engaged. It's so smart. I don't need that. Get rid of all that. So now that I just so happen to have weed on me, and there's a guy who wants weed. Here we go. Trade info. There we go. I'm just gonna take it to that guy since I have it. Yo, he's all the way out here. That'll be interesting. Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. So let's go over there. Yoink someone's car. The intellectual design that is Chinatown Wars. This is what Grand Theft Auto should be, man. Just an interactive little world that has you running all over the place. Oh my god! So you'll notice I, like, drove a car into water, so I actively have to break the window to climb out and survive drowning in the car. You know what I mean? It's a game that knows. think I saw a boat around here somewhere. Oh, but there's a drug dealer over here. Might as well get acquainted with him while I'm here. That's what the game does. It's masterful work. Yeah, I'll pick that up. In fact, I'll take his diners as well, because someone needs them. I think I've got room for him. Yep. Do that. Bob's your uncle. You can hear how, like, just constantly engaged this game keeps me. I don't think this game goes 5 minutes without just providing you with a thing to take advantage of and think about and be like, oh, Let's see, so I'm out in the water here, so it's a little harder to tell where it is I've got to go, so I'm just going to check. Because where am I? I'm there, so I'm going in the right direction, I'm fine. Close that down. I do wish the pause menu was a little bit faster when it comes to interacting with it, considering like just how constant everything is and you're always like on a move. You know what I mean? The world is just peppered with just things. Just things to help you out while you do your job. There is constantly, always, a reason to be going somewhere. You know what I mean? The game constantly leads you along. It pulls you, it tugs at you, it goes... Oh, there's a thing over there. Go over there. Oh, there's a thing over there. Go over there. Oh, you're in trouble now. You got the police coming after you. You got to defend yourself. Do I shoot them? Do I drive away from them? Do I crash them? Is it worth engaging them? Do I have to avoid them? How much stuff do I have on me? There we go. And there we go. Sweet profit. I think if, oh my god, man. So, one thing that I wish we could see, the Grand Theft Auto game that we'll never get, but I so wish, is that they would make a game just like this one, with various enhancements, various bells and whistles or whatever. Set it in Vice City. Because I love the look of this game as well. I love that it's top down. I love the sprite work on all the NPCs and the character you play as. I love how cute and dinky everything is. I love how interactive it is. All the specific details that adds to interacting with things. And you know what would be so cool? Imagine if you could take the drugs that you've got as well, and they give you little buffs or something like that, but also fuck with you in some way. Like maybe one makes you invincible for a little bit, but it makes your vision so fucked. Maybe cocaine makes you run faster, but it gives you less health or something. Imagine that. Actually imagine that. Weed slows down time. And then that all kind of comes into like how expensive it all is as well. It's like, is it worth taking it for that? And it doesn't have to be realistic in the sense that you start getting addicted to it or anything like that. Maybe they could implement a light idea of like you get addicted to a certain drug. Oh my god. But we're not going to see that. We're not. Make it that acid allows you to deal more damage or something like that. And they all have like trippy screen effects that are unique to the drug that you're taking. And I like to think those are the neat little extra features that you can... Because it all contributes to the core experience. Maybe you're in some stupid little situation where, like, the army is coming after you. Imagine if you had, like, rivaling gangs or something like that. where, like, if you gain a bad reputation, or if you're in, like, a bad side of the neighborhood, and it's a certain gang that is, like, particularly kitted out with, like, really dangerous weapons, so if you're gonna survive it, what you gotta do is taking, maybe if you want to, oh my god, if you had, like, a gang that specializes in cars, so they always have, like, really fast they're like fast all the time, so what you need to do is, like, take a dose of cocaine that will make you drive faster or something like that. And you gotta think about, like, what parts of the city you're going through, which determines what gangs are gonna be coming across at the time. Holy fuck, how clever that would be. Right, let's see, because I'm seeing that there's a truck there. Because I think, so later on in the game, once you do enough missions, you unlock other events. So sometimes you'll come across a van that's being driven by a gang. But if you hijack their van and survive them, like, basically riddling you with bullets, you take it home, and you can search the vehicle for drugs as well. This game knows how to engage you with that fantasy of being a drug dealer. It's so good. It's so good, man. And it's the kind of game that could, because there's definitely things in this game that could be taken even farther without wrecking the core experience. That's my point, and they don't think about that. Rockstar doesn't think about that anymore. Right, what am I doing? Right, so I think once I do this, because I think I've gotten the point across. I think I've gotten that point across of how the open world works, and it's perfect. It's perfect like that. I think I'll do, like, maybe, like, a mission or two or something like that, just to get across, like, how cool the missions are in this game as well. And then I think I'll just cap it there, because I think I've blabbed out just about everything that I want to yammer on about. There we go. And then that frees me up. I've got no infantry on me. Good, good. You have anything on you? No, okay. I won't, because I gotta do some missions now. I'll do some missions, and that'll help me, like, talk about the presentation of this game. So, let's see. So we got, like, a side mission over here. Because the way that this game does cutscenes is it's like comic book strips. But imagine if they took that a step farther and actually made it a cartoon. Like, the cutscenes are animated cartoons and that sort of thing. That would be so cool. Wacky voice acting and all that. Because you got to read all of this. It's a shame. I don't care for text bubbles. I don't care for reading stories. The story in the game is alright, though. It's simple in a good way. It's satire in a good way. It just takes the mick and it's fun. Let's see. Mercy wants some excitement. Drive fast and perform stunts such as it. And there's no other mission like this. There's no other mission that requires you to just drive like a bellend and try and survive it just to impress some woman in your car. You gotta go around and find some jumps and near misses and shit like that. And fill up this excitement bar in the top left. But this is definitely not one of the most interesting missions. But that's okay, because this is the only mission that requires you to do this. There is no mission that repeats what it is that you have to do in this game, and that is so good. That's what Chinatown Wars' campaign does. It just plays with ideas, and none of the ideas overstay their welcome. I can imagine if, like, they really wanted to take that farther and do a game like this again, which they won't, but for fantasy's sake, if they did, you could probably make it that each individual mission can be completed in multiple ways, in the sense of doing like maybe so for example, this one, driving the car and all that. Because yeah, so for example, a mission like this is replayable in its own right. Maybe they could make it that you could get ranked on it or something, medals or something like that, kind of like Burnout, and apply that logic to other missions. Because like I'll need to do one of the main missions to make this an example. Like, not so much do more of the same missions, just make it like all of them are cleverly replayable in a sense. Where it's like, not do I approach this violently or do I approach it quietly? Just make it that whatever the mission is about, that there's multiple ways to do what the mission is asking of you. Thanks, that was insane. If I was ready for a long stay in hospital before, I certainly am now. What about your car, bro? It's not mine, I stole it. See you around. Yeah, the writing's dumb in an amusing kind of way. Game stories don't have to be all that serious all the time. I think that's the kind of thing that Grand Theft Auto has always been. They've always been like these outrageous takes on society. Or rather, outrageous exaggerations on society. Oh, my words. Oh, my words. Oh, can't I get, like, shotgun ammo out of these cars? I, like, get in and out of them. Yeah, I can. Don't these ones give me, like, a... Yeah. See, again, I just love that. If you get in and out of a police vehicle, you can, like, just grab the shotguns that are inside of them. Now I've got shotgun ammo, and I love a shotgun. Right, yeah, we'll do a mission. Hold on, can I, like, wave this guy down? And throw him out? No, I can't. Or maybe I could. Hold on. What if I get out and then throw him out? Not the perfect example, but again, it's kind of... Wait, no, I bet you could. Hold on. Let's say you were trying to catch up with a car, right? And then what if I, like, go on the other side and just throw him out? Can you not? I'm going to try this a few times. Because it's like... The idea is it would be one of those funny little things you could do as a criminal, is like just take advantage of this poor taxi driver by waving him down, then throwing him out of the car. Come on. If I like go in front of the taxi and then hit it. Yeah, you can! So if I was in some rare situation where the only car I can see is a taxi that's taking fucking... who's searching for passengers, and I'm there like, yeah. Help me out, and I'll just throw him out. Such a dick thing to do. Oh, I love games that just allow you to be a dick, man. Not just in the way of like, oh, I can shoot anyone I want. No, more in the way that you can just take advantage of people's kindness, man. Oh, it's horrible. I love it. Yeah, to make it abundantly clear, yeah, I am an absolute monster in computer games. I will exploit a computer game for all it's worth. Oh, is that like a red? Usually the red dumpsters always have a weapon in them. Yeah, there we go. See, there we go. Just stocked myself up on a clip of machine gun right there. So this is a mission where you don't participate in a race. You participate in rigging a race. Because I think the previous race was you had to go track down the best racer in the competition and fuck up his engine in secret, so when the race does start, the thing just blows up once you get started. And then you have to take care of the rest of the contestants by smashing off the road, so the guy that you're working for can actually win the race, and he's like the worst driver in the thing. And that's what I mean about this game's missions. They're so creative. Yeah, this is precisely what I mean. This guy's about to, like, crash off of the road because in the previous mission I rigged him. So now instead of like, you have to win a race. No, you have to help the worst driver in the race win. By fucking with the rest of the guys on the road. And that is just so creative. And it plays into that idea of like doing illegal shit as well. This game emphasizes that you are a criminal in every way. Like, for example, maybe to make this mission more replayable, maybe they could randomize the route that you're going through. If they wanted to make a game like this again. So therefore, sure, they're only doing this mission once throughout the entire game, but if you want to do it again, you can go back to this mission and they'll give you a different variant of doing this mission. Do you know what I mean? And that would just be one of many ways to make a game like this just infinitely even more replayable. Because it's already a very replayable game. The missions themselves, maybe not so much. But that's what I mean. If they had another go at making a game just like this, all you'd have to do is, like, do a lot of what you already did, but just do smart little things that can make it even more, like, to make even more of the content worth going back to. Let's see if there's a more action-driven mission that we can do. Because each of the characters that you do missions for, their missions are they follow a theme. Oh, by the way, and then if you want to see another cool thing, so you'll notice we got a gas station here, and you can use the gas station in the open world mind. And what can you use it for? You can use it to make Molotov cocktails. And there's a little mini game you can play. And the idea is, however much fuel you purchase is basically how long you have to make as many cocktails as you can. And how many you make is how many you come away with. And that is perfect for an open world game, man. That is perfect for Grand Theft Auto, man. This is why Chinatown Wars is one of my favorite games, man. You actively have to pull the thing out, aim this inconsistent stream of petrol into a glass bottle, stop the fuel before you use too much, before you spill too much of it, take the cloth and physically press it into the bottle to make it. It's gorgeous. I love this game so much for this. I have never seen this anywhere else in a computer game. I can't name one game that does stuff like this. Go on. There we go. And then, yeah, I'm out of fuel. I can't make any more. And I came away with 4 Molotov cocktails. And then you'll see things like police chases going on around the blooming town and shit like that. It's just neat little dynamic things that happen. Just stuff that bring the world to life, man. The NPCs putting up umbrellas and shit like that because it's raining. The railway that's going across our heads and that. And it's not a realistic game. It's not. But it's still an immersive one because it keeps me engaged with what the world has to offer. And it's not because of realism. It is not because of realism in the slightest. And that is simply what is perfect for any computer game. Here, I'm going to raid that dumpster again because I think it like respawns what's inside there. There we go. And I love it. Oh yeah, and then apparently, I'm not certain. I could definitely be wrong, but apparently, so you see that camera thing that's following me there. So those are scattered all over the city, and apparently, the more that you destroy them, the less likely you are to get jumped by police when you're doing drug deals with other drug dealers. And that's just another nice little thing. So to get rid of them, you can use you use throwables, and in this case, I have Molotov cocktails, so I can charge that up, throw it at them. There we go. Took care of a random camera that was laying around the city and shit like that. Because you'll notice the counter that was down there that counts. I think there's like 100 of them around the city. I would not mind in the slightest if they had the cameras respawn after a particularly long period of time. So instead of it being like a permanent upgrade, it's like a temporary one that lasts a very long time. Like make it lasts you a week or something like that. And then for as long as that camera is not there, you don't have to deal with drug busts in the area. But then once they respawn, then that's when you got to think about it again. It's just the kind of thing that would keep the world kind of breathing, that keep the activities going, that keeps the incline and decline of things that you've got to manage just alive. And that's exactly what I mean by they could make a sequel to this and perfect it, man. Because this game it's close to perfect. It's so good. You'll never achieve a perfect game, like, fair enough. But there's just so many things that you could still just make this kind of game better with. And it saddens me that as of now, nobody is taking advantage of that. And I'm sure a part of the reason for that is just because next to nobody has heard of this game. It was a handheld game. And there is so much that the franchise could learn from this game. There is so much that open world game that Grand Theft Auto clones could learn from this game. Oh, it's just so cool. Going back to this thing that I was talking about earlier, because I remember having this idea for a Mafia game. And one neat little mechanic I came up with, and it was something that could even be applied to like this game, right? Was the idea of what if you're in a safe house, right? And there's one little thing that you can do. And that is you can like peer out of the window, and the mini game for that is you know like those blinds, right? Here, I'll do that now. It's a fun little idea. Because I was going back to the idea of like rival gangs, right? And the idea of gangs being maybe more dangerous than the police are. The way that you can maybe be like stalked by gangs sometimes. Like maybe they would have like people following you quietly, like NPCs, until like they catch you in a quiet place somewhere. and then all of a sudden, you've got one guy over here, one guy over there, maybe one guy up on the roof who's got, like, an assault rifle. They've got, like, heavy weapons on them, and they're there to, like, just mow you down. But, going back to my point, window blinds. Because the idea of, like, concealing weapons, right? And this idea of, like, the heavier the artillery you have, the more likely you're going to get in trouble with the police. But how are you going to make that interesting? Well, my idea was, imagine you're in a safe house, and take Chinatown Wars' like drug dealing system, for example, and you're wanting to pick something up from your little safe box. So, like, maybe there's a deal over there. So you're like, oh, I need this much of so-and-so. I'll pick it up from a safe house. So, you go to a safe house to pick up your stuff. And you've got a window that you can check outside of. And the mini game for that could be that, and it's not like a challenge or anything, it's just an interactive thing that you can do. Where, like, you navigate to the window, and you know those blinds that you can, like, stick a finger in and, like, pull the things down? I get excited about this idea as if it's going to happen. But, you know those things? Like, those, like, metallic blinds that you can, like... So imagine you go up to, like, a window, and it's closed. It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing. And the minigame is simply, like... You hit X and it sticks a finger in the thing, and then you pull the analog stick down that pulls the blinds down subtly, and you're peering through it. And the idea is, you have to look at basically this picture of the street that you're in. And if it looks normal enough, you're fine. You can, like, grab what you need and head out, and everything's fine. But let's say you pull the thing down and you have to have a look around, and then you can see down, like, the alleyway across the road, you can see a mysterious figure standing in the alleyway there. That means you're being followed by a gang member or something. So, having spot that detail, the detail tells you that once you set foot outside of your house, you're gonna get attacked. So, what to do is, maybe you'll be like, oh shit, this place is heated. Maybe I shouldn't grab anything out of the box. Or, shit, there's someone out there. Maybe I can grab a heavier rifle that I've got in the cabinet or something like that. So, it gives you it means you stand a better chance against the encounter. Is that not a cool idea or what? Is that not a cool idea or what? You know what I mean? And I thought that would suit something like a mafia game where you've got to do crime, but you've got to do it in a way that doesn't draw attention to yourself. And you got to know how to check your corners. You got to know how to make sure that you're safe doing this sort of thing before you go and do it. Is that not cool? Is that not infinitely more interesting than, I want to make sure I don't run red stoplight so it doesn't trigger the police to the... That's boring. That's fucking boring. No. Make it that, like, you gotta make sure that you're safe to do something before you actually do it. Is that not genius? I think that is. Oh my god. I love being a YouTuber, man. I love being a game tuber. Oh shit. Hiya. Bye-bye. And yeah, I wouldn't have been prepared for that if I hadn't searched through that dumpster and been like, oh, I got a machine gun on me. I have, like, my shotgun on me as well. You see what I mean? Thanks to me scavenging. Thanks to me doing my scavenging in the city, like getting into those police cars and grabbing the shotguns out of them, thanks to me searching through that dumpster and getting the submachine gun for it, that just made an encounter like this a lot easier. That would be so cool for a sequel for this game. If you had gangs in certain parts of the city that have certain types of encounters. So, for example, maybe you're going down an alleyway, and suddenly, out of nowhere, you're getting jumped by a couple of guys with guns or baseball bats or whatever, and it's sudden, so you have no time. So you're... Based on how well you prepared yourself for an encounter like that, determines on how well you're going to take care of it. So maybe you didn't spend your time grabbing guns out of a dumpster and stuff like that. So you've got nothing on you. So you get jumped. I just think that's a cool idea. I think that's the kind of thing that would enhance an open world game based on crime and stuff like that. And here we go. This is just one of those creative missions that Chinatown Wars does. Now I have to retrieve someone's van that is hidden in one of these compartments. And the things that you're going to find in these boxes is random. And imagine making something that, like this a bit more replayable if the encounters for it were like something you would not experience in just one playthrough. You know what I mean? Like maybe in one playthrough, right? And it's an exaggeration, so, you know, take this with a pinch of salt. But maybe, let's say, for example, you open one of the containers and a fucking elephant comes. And it's like some random stupid boss fight that you gotta do. Or you open it up and, I don't know, it's a lucky drug stash, and you're like, oh, I can apply that to the open world, and be like, oh, holy shit, I can take advantage of that. You know what I mean? Because, like, in the game, it's preset. Like, what's going to come out of these things happens every single time you replay the mission. But it's just the kind of thing that would give you incentive to be like, I kind of feel like doing this mission again, because who knows what's going to happen in it this time. Is that not just the greatest idea? Where it's like, it's the same mission, it's just a slightly different variant on doing the same mission. Before you, like, actually get what it is that you came here for, and that's, like, this news van that we have to get. So let's see. I'll do that now. And again, all the interactive shit. Like, I have to actively bust open this lock by, like, just thwacking it and thwacking it. To find, oh, gosh, there's nothing in here. Time to move on to the next one. Everything is so interactive in this game. Because the game's levels... I'm tired of saying missions. The game's levels knows... They know how to just mix it up with something that they haven't done before. You will never do the same type of mission twice. And even that, without my suggestion of how to make them more replayable, is just so commendable in of itself. There's so many games out there that just recycle missions and have you doing the same things over and over again because they run out of ideas. And here we go. It's like, oh gosh, there's some starving immigrants in here. What was it the text say? That says, like, oh gosh, they're trying to kill me because they need some, because they're cannibals or something. It's stupid, but it's fun. And it's the kind of thing where, yeah, it would be funny if it, like, if they made a sequel and did the whole replayable missions thing. Maybe, like, just zombies come walking out or something like that. Just a crowd of zombies. Like, oh, that didn't happen the last time we played this mission. Let's play the mission again and see what other stupid things could come out of these containers. And then there'd still be that fun little incentive of, even if it's the same mission I'm playing, there's a slight chance that maybe I'll get something extra out of it as well. So I can use it in the open world. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a long video. It's kind of why I got up a little earlier for this. Because I knew I was just going to ramble and ramble and ramble about this sort of stuff. Because it's a big topic, I think. Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar is such a big topic. I kind of like how vulgar Chinatown Wars is compared to the rest of the Grand Theft Auto games. I think it kind of suits it. I think Grand Theft Auto kind of suits that sort of humor. Toilet humor. South Park humor. I understand that it's not for everybody, but it is for some of us. I remember people criticizing Grand Theft Auto 5 for its goofy writing, but I think it's perfectly fine. Grand Theft Auto has always been quite goofy since Grand Theft Auto 3. It was just once Grand Theft Auto 4 came along and they decided to take on a bit more of a serious story with more believable characters, and I do like that as well. It wasn't without like some goofy characters as well, but there was a lot more drive coming from serious characters, from characters that you'd be more likely to meet in this sort of lifestyle, and I think that's good in its own right. That's perfectly fine. But I think because of that, people took that as a reason to bash the goofier writing that Grand Theft Auto used to be known for at the time. I think there is indeed room for both. There's room for both. Yeah, this is quite a classic, getting chased down by vans and things like that. Folk are like, oh, give us this van back. You've got to defend yourself. I really do like how seamless everything is in this game, because it's not traditional. The controls for this game aren't very traditional. How could it be? Because it's a top-down game. I think something like this would probably... I think if something like this was made today, and I think it'd be pretty cool to see, they would probably make it a bit more of like a twin-stick shooter. And I love me a bit of a twin-stick shooter, you know. But even without that, I think this game handles the controls and executing actions throughout the game is very easy to do. It's good. In fact, it's probably easier to like shoot things in a car in this game than it is in any other Grand Theft Auto game. It works so well. And it's easy to tell what's going on around you as well. I think rampaging in this game is probably the most fun out of all of the Grand Theft Auto games as well. Because it's so quick and snappy. And the explosions just look amazing, especially during the night, and especially when you're getting chased by police cars and their siren lights are just making the place glow with like the blue and reds. Like the lighting is so pretty at night. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. It's one of my favorite games bar none. And it's a game I wish could be followed up on. I so wish this specific game could be followed up on. Specifically, I so wish this game was like set in Vice City or something. It would suit it so well, the whole Miami thing. Set in the fucking homeland of drugs and cocaine and shit like that. Because Vice City, like, Grand Theft Auto's depiction of Miami is... Because Miami was definitely... Because it used to be one of the most dangerous cities on Earth back in the 80s. Which is a thing I learned through Hotline Miami. And then some of the missions force you to engage with the drug dealing thing. Because sometimes the
the guys who you're working for, they need money off of you. And it's an absurd amount of money as well. And so it's like, well, how am I going to make money? The only way is to engage with the main system that this game introduces to you. And that's brilliant because, again, it's the thing that tries to get consumers to notice the main selling point that this game is. And that is the whole drug dealing thing. I think this is definitely like some of the game's prettier moments as well, when it's raining and everything looks extra reflective in that. It's dark and there's like just all these glowing things. It's a great atmosphere. The traffic is the traffic AI is so goofy, but I don't mind it. I think it's a part of what gives the Grand Theft Auto games their charm, is if the world is just so clumsy and chaotic. I kind of have a soft spot for the old way of approaching the missions as well, where if you fail the mission, you have to start the entire thing again. I'm fine with that. I don't quite like that Rockstar have relied on just placing checkpoints throughout missions now, because it just makes playing the game feel a bit more brainless. A bit like it doesn't matter if you fail because you just get set back by 3 seconds and that. I get it, it's convenient, but it takes you out of it. It turns the game it makes the game more mundane because you don't actually have to worry about anything. Sometimes bigger stakes do just kind of draw you into the gameplay a little bit more. That forces you to pay attention. Of course, it wouldn't work too well if the missions took ages to complete. That's not what I'm saying. If you find that fine little balance of make the missions quite brief, just quite brief, and then that's when it kind of justifies where if you fail the mission, you got to start all over again. Now, I'm not saying the graphics in this game is amazing, but even that, I quite liked that shimmer of the water that was there as well. I think they could drive that up a notch, man. They were to lean a little bit more into things like cell shading and all that. Because there's just a lot of neat little things that the graphics in this game does do. But it's not a particularly pretty game as a whole. Sometimes it does look really nice to look at. But, yeah, no, admittedly, it's not an example game I go to for, appearance or anything like that. Presentation, definitely, but maybe not so much appearance. Oh, can I dual-wield pistols now? Oh, I gotta do that. Some of the weapon choices in this game is so cool as well. I love that this is one of the few Grand Theft Auto games that gives you a chainsaw as well. It is a subtly gory game. And a game doesn't always need gore, but I do kind of appreciate a bit of good gore in a game. Oh, so am I defending these guys it's kind of like a battle of attrition, kind of a capture the flag kind of thing. And again, it's that kind of goes back to how could you make a game like this replayable, you know? Make it that the enemy patterns are always different every time you play through a game like this. It just keeps you on your toes. Make it last a reasonable amount of time so you can really savor what's going on. Because I'm loving this. Ah, fucked it. It's just because I'm not paying much attention. I mean, some of these missions might actually be fairly replayable. Just not that much. They're not that much replayable. I won't pretend it's some revolutionary thing that the game's doing. it just inspires some ideas. Because it's so difficult to, like, pay attention while I'm, like, blabbing and all that. Oh, I can just skip the trip. See what I mean? The game knows how to be, like, convenient when it counts. It understands that, like, driving to the mission isn't always, like, the most engaging thing to do. It's that nice little balance of, like, you got to start the mission again, but what we'll do, we'll make you a deal and we'll just skip you to when the mission actually starts. This game, I'm telling you, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars was made by people who fully understand what a computer game is. And that is so important when you're a game designer. Because again, even the gunplay, I love the gunplay in this game. I've experienced, like, better gunplay, don't get me wrong, but it's all just so satisfying because it's, like, just easy to manage. It's easy to tell what's going on. The lock-on system works perfectly. And it's just like, oh, it has just such a nice little twist of chaos in it as well. Controlling the camera isn't too demanding as well, because it's like, there's no traditional camera controls. You can't rotate the camera left and right like in most games with the analog stick. It's more that you just point in the direction you're going and then you press a button to point the camera in that direction. I see, so the character, because she's a news reporter. She's an independent news reporter, and she's being reckless by coming out here with her camera. So now you have to defend her, as well as, like, the people who are moving these crates over to a thing. Because I'm not paying attention, I don't know the context, but it still gives you these interesting little scenarios that really stretch out what it is that you have to do. They challenge you. Do I have anything? Nah, I'll stick to the machine gun. This thing is helping me out quite well. Oh, yeah, and then one of the guys is stealing the van, so you have to chuck him out and all that. There's a lot of busy stuff going on in these missions, and they are still just good for it, actually. In fact, this might be one of the most replayable missions in the game. Because it's so full of anarchy. It's like this battle of attrition to maintain this stuff that you're trying to steal, and then this rival gang is trying to steal it also. Then you got this fucking cow out here trying to make shit worse by placing herself in harm's way, being like, oh, I gotta film this. Oh, it's beautiful. And this is what I mean. This is why, like, it would be so cool to see these being, like, animated cutscenes, like hand-drawn, comic book art style, and just these exaggerated characters being, like, so obnoxious in an entertaining way. Oh my god! And I love how the environment just kind of lights up like this when the police are after you. You know what? Here, I'll gun you guys down. And I love that it's not too impossible to fight the law as well, like it is in some of the previous GTA games. Whenever you take on the law in other Grand Theft Auto games, it's a losing battle. You're often gonna lose every time. But in this game, there's plenty of ways to just maintain your life and survive whatever it is they throw at you if you're careful enough. And it's still quite demanding in that, but there is plenty of options that you have to not only evade the police, but also fight back. And in some cases, they reward you for fighting back as well because of the takedown system. It's so much fun. It seems like I'm in impossible odds, like there are police absolutely everywhere, there's a helicopter in the sky, but it still gives me a chance to come out fighting if I just ram these guys into walls. There's a counter for police pulling you out of the car, so if an officer gets to your door and attempts to pull you out, if you have a gun on you, you can shoot them off and still evade them. Just like so. Oh, I'm alright. Oh, I'm okay. I don't know why I'm okay, but I'm okay. There we go. You see what I mean? You can like just counter them, shoot them off, and then there you go. You got yourself plenty of wiggle room. The game gives you so much wiggle room, not in the way that makes it like just easy for you to get away with everything. It just gives you a chance. It gives you a fighting chance to counter half of what's going on. But the trade-off is if you kill an officer, it restarts how many people you need to take down. So it's just a great little system to battle with. And look at all of this. It's such a chaotic system in the best kind of way. Gives you plenty that you gotta think about. How long is my car gonna last? How much damage can it manage? Yeah, there we go, because like there's no use trying to drive out of that. I have to get out the car and run. Otherwise, I will get pulled out of the car and I will get arrested. I love the wanted system in Chinatown Wars specifically, because it's the same old thing. It's the same old wanted system that Grand Theft Auto has always been known for, but it gives you more of like this tug of war to engage with. I could grab this van, but it's like fucking slow. And then I see a faster car over here, so I'm like, oh, maybe I can grab this thing. I was hoping it would like force me to hotwire it, but never mind. Sometimes you get lucky and all that. The reason I just wanted to like throw all of the mechanics at, you know what? Yeah, I'll like just showcase more of this wanted system and that. I'll engage with it a little bit more. I noticed that I'm running. Well, no, I'm not running low on health, but I've lost a bit of health in that. So maybe if I'm lucky, keep an eye out. I can maybe find a dumpster somewhere. Yeah, I'm on fire. Gotta jump out in that. You see what I mean? There's so much that's forcing you to shake it up. There's a dumpster over here. Quick, quick, quick. Flick it up. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There was nothing in there. No, got no health. Oh, shit. There's a lot of oh, shit moments. There's a lot of aha moments. Big old chopper up in the sky. Can I shoot it down? Can I shoot it down? I can shoot it down. Oh, no, I'm gonna die. But even then, it's just so much fun. It's so satisfying. It is so welcoming to let you just be a bad guy, man. Is this a thunderstorm as well? Noticing like the place is flashing every now and again. The use of lighting, the use of chaos, the use of little details like there's people reading newspapers. It includes all the details that the game needs to live. And luckily I just died, so when you die you don't actually lose anything. I think you just have to pay a hospital fee, and that's nothing for a drug dealer like me. Everything that this game includes serves just being a fun Grand Theft Auto game. The police thing, I think. Yeah, no. I think I'll just do one more mission. Just one more, and then I'll call it there, because any more than that will literally just be me going around in more circles that I've already been going around in. I'm a bit bad for that. Sometimes I'll, like, come up with a good point, but then I'll just kind of rotate it around and around and around. I'll just repeat myself. Oh, I'm on fire. There we go. Stop, drop, and roll. Hold on a minute. This isn't one of my favorite missions, is it? This might be like the mission where you actually go and raid a hideout. Kind of like it's Hotline Miami. And because I'm a sucker for Hotline Miami. Oh, please tell me this is that mission. That'll be perfect for this video. Because once again, I know I just said that I repeat myself a lot. There is no mission that repeats. Everything is always a one-time thing. And there's such a wide variety of these missions as well. Not too many, not too many. It's not like the longest campaign ever. It's just a campaign that covers every idea they can possibly come up with. And they do it to the best of their ability, just once. And if this is actually the mission that I'm thinking of, like this might conveniently be my favorite mission in the entire game. Just as a personal thing, not because it's like the most best designed mission in the whole thing, just because I love it. I hope it is. I think it is. Yeah, you get like a flamethrower or something. Yeah. So this is the mission. This is a Hotline Miami mission, basically. Hotline Miami didn't exist at the time, so it's not that. But basically, this is the mission where you gotta go into a building full of gangsters and clear the thing out. And there's like explosive barrels and shit. Come on, blow it up. Oh, right, use the baseball bat to do it. Okay, sorry. And here we go. Yeah, this is just Hotline Miami. Not exactly. It'd be great if it was like they die in one hit, you die in one hit, but it's not. But this is basically the Hotline Miami mission where you got to clear out room to room. And the thing that would and then you got to like wreck their products and stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is personally my favorite mission in the game. Not because it's deep, not because it does it particularly better than any other game does. I just love that it exists. And a way you can make a mission like this replayable is that just the layout in the building is different each time you replay it. And once again, you never do a mission like this ever again. And that's why it's like... And it's because of this mission that I kind of thought about that as well. It's just like, I would love if I could get another mission like this. And I don't mind that they only do it once, if... In fact, I don't even mind this once at all. There's the flamethrower guy in it. But I don't even mind that. All I'm thinking is, if you wanted to improve this idea just a little bit more, the idea of having these varied missions that you only do once, make it that they just kind of randomize a little bit every time you replay them. Because at that point, I would just be like, oh, I gotta play this mission again and see what it gives me this time. Do I need to use the baseball bat again? There we go. It's risky, but fuck it. Yeah. Let's just burn them alive. See what I mean? It's like, it's not revolutionary. It doesn't have to be. It's not highly cinematic or nothing like that. It's just creative. And it's just fun. It's just fun in its own right. It's chaotic. It's over the top. Oh my god. And then these are like things that you'll only
experience, like, in these specific missions as well. It's like the specific mini games of having to arm a bomb and do the code. And I think that is very much what gives the missions their own little incentive to play again. I just don't think they go. I don't think they go quite far enough to warrant like replaying them. There's not much reason to go play them again, which is why all I'm thinking is all you would have to do to maybe alleviate that is just lightly randomize them, just lightly. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just enough where, like, you know what mission you're in for, you just don't know what to expect as you're going in. It just keeps you on your toes when you do it again. Baseball bat. Where is it? Baseball bat. There you go. It doesn't need drastically different outcomes or anything. Just keep me on my toes when I get to play it again. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is a perfect note to actually cap this out on. I gotta play my favorite mission. And then they're having a fallout about something. I can't remember. Oh, and once again, I love this. Trying to crack a safe. Not because it's challenging, just because it's just kind of fun. It's satisfying. It's just satisfying. And there we go. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, man. It's such a fucking masterpiece, even as it is. I wish someone would follow up on it. I so wish someone would follow up on it. We know Rockstar will never approach something like that again. All they care about is wowing the stupid people who don't really know what a quality product is. And I'm hoping I can really make an engaging video out of everything I've had to say today. So unfortunately, my last video, probably some of my best work, but I think the thing that went wrong here is just that it's a video about something that nobody cares about right now. I wish doing YouTube was all about just making a really good video and folk would spread that around, but the algorithm doesn't work like that. You need to talk about something trendy to take off. It sucks. So the only opportunity I have for that right now is to prepare for Grand Theft Auto 6. It's the most hyped game of the decade. And 26th of May. So as of recording this, I'm on, the 8th of October. So, I'm hoping that the best case scenario is, because I explained this earlier, that I can get 3 videos out, with the 3rd video landing on the 26th of May. But if this video if my Hotline Miami video that I'm working on takes a little too long, I'll just skip to the 2nd video that I make, being Grand Theft Auto. I'll need to hold on to the game. I'll need to hold on to the video if I finish it early, and schedule it to release on this date. Because I think the thing that I don't like about having to do this is because there's other games that I could be drawing. There's other like amazing games that I could be drawing attention to, but I'm not big enough to do that. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to get the channel big enough so I can start drawing attention to some of the most underground stuff that people have never heard of, but it's like just amazing. I want to be a hub for that sort of thing. It's just that for the time being, I need to talk about the trendy stuff. It's the only way that the algorithm is gonna pay the channel its due respect. Sucks. It kind of sucks. It's not so bad, though, because luckily, I mean, Chinatown Wars is fucking amazing anyway. And then Red Dead 1... let's assume that I'll be doing Red Dead 1 after Hotline Miami, which I'll also do a long-form podcast video on, because I gotta get my thoughts out about that. I think that will just give us a little extra leverage in terms of the thing. But it's just annoying, because everyone's heard of Red Dead Redemption. It's not news to anyone, but it's what the algorithm wants. It's what the general audience want. It seems that people want what they've already heard of. Which is, I mean, that's natural in it. That's just human. That's just a human thing to want. We like what's familiar. So yeah, I think that's the gist of what I gotta say. Yeah, no, I'm just looping and shit. So yeah, check out the main channel. That's so worth your time. It's so entertaining. And GTA Chinatown Wars. Get your hands on that if you can. You can emulate it and shit. It's a good game. Good game. Thanks. Bye.